Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I am back from the month-long the hiatus of nothing and stalling and being ridiculously irritating to my progression and trying to focus and do more things. But I'm back again for the Wrestling Smarks, episode 14, with a new face, actually. A new face. First of all, let me start off with telling you guys already know these guys over there to my right, your left. Get the point. Steve, how you doing, my guy?
Muted.
I'm here. Yeah, I unmuted. Don't worry.
There we go.
I sometimes know what I'm doing, but thank you. I'm glad to be here. Glad you're off your hiatus here and back to talk a plethora of things.
There's a ton of stuff we can talk about. My boy, Kyron Chase himself. What is going on?
What's going on, Mark? It's hot night here in Baltimore.
Yes,
for sure.
It's pretty good where I am, and LeBron James just signed the Los Angeles Lakers, so a lot's going on.
4 year, 154 mil. Sheesh, this man is getting money. And last but not least, fresh face, fresh meat for the podcast.
What's up?
Could go off on. I mean, he's already went off on him on Steve's channel, as we already know, or probably agree with him in some cases. But it's a good chance because we like to troll Kyron a lot. So you'll hop on the bandwagon sooner than later. Just for the hell of it, you know. Kyron is easily triggered when two words pop up: Jinder Mahal. But yes.
What do you mean he's great? That guy's great.
This is gonna be good.
He's doing the best he can, Kyron. Give him a chance.
This is gonna be really good. My boy Gabe, what's going on, man?
What's up? I ain't got nothing to say, except I'm glad to be in this new installment after your month-long break. Yeah. I don't use the word hiatus because I can't stand that word, but like, I don't know. It's so like pretentious sounding. You don't use big words, man. No, I'm joking. I don't care.
All right, so with this hiatus that I was in, we actually did not talk about post Money in the Bank. We have a return of another legend himself, a Maryland native. There be James Ellsworth. Now that one was kind of expected for me. I don't know what you guys thought about it. We'll get to that.
There's so. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm new to this podcast. Yeah, there's like some speculation too. So like,
I heard he was coming back, but I was like, well, for what? That was the thing. Like, I don't mind him coming back, but it's like, what are you gonna do? That's the thing. I still don't know what they're gonna do. But what we got started on Ellsworth returning, did you guys like care? I know, Kyron, you probably do not care at all. Not one bit.
Well, since you called me, I'm about to give you my answer. If you saw my review of Money in the Bank, I ranted on it, and it wasn't just necessarily Ellsworth coming back. It was more of like Carmella pinning Asuka, and I felt like it really hurt Asuka even more. But what I said in that review was, you know, they had to bring James Ellsworth back to help Carmella. I feel like W is kind of saying, you know, how fans aren't really into Carmella that much, so bring Ellsworth back. And then I went on saying, you know, the same James Ellsworth who in the independent scene created a championship to defend against women so he could keep winning. The same James Ellsworth who the day after Money in the Bank wrestled Grimm's wife. I thought it was kind of, I was not that happy because I never liked Ellsworth anyway. But what I did say in my review, and I'm going to echo here, I'll accept this on one condition. Who was the last woman who really had a problem with James Ellsworth?
Becky
Lynch. Exactly. Yeah, SummerSlam. I would have you had Becky challenge Carmella for the title. Heck, you can have make Ellsworth tap out again, and I'm fine with it. Heck, I'd be fine if Asuka take the title of Extreme Rules and we get Becky versus Asuka at SummerSlam. Now tell me that wouldn't be money.
Yeah, that would be good. I mean, I wouldn't mind that. But I got a feeling they're going to do something way more unexpected with Ellsworth. Like, there's just not – I don't think it's just because Carmella's champion of reasons here. I think they know what they're doing. There's some crazy stuff going on. I mean,
They know
Who
what
knows?
they're doing?
What do you think they're doing?
I know. I just say, you really believe they know what they're doing?
Well, no, not like they know what they're doing, but they brought him here for a reason. Like I don't know what the heck it's for, but
So
whatever.
they can release him 3 months later.
You said what?
So they can release him 3 months later. Let's be honest.
They would do some BS like that, wouldn't they?
Is he even back full time? Like, is he like signed?
I think he signed
For
him.
real?
Yeah.
That's
That's
weird. Yeah.
crazy. That's what I'm saying. They must be confident. Like they know what they're doing, how they're gonna do it, and hopefully it goes out planned. I mean, I don't know what the heck it's for.
A moment while I vomit.
You said what?
A moment while I vomit.
So another shocker, in Money in the Bank was when Alexa Bliss cashed in her title shot. Now I know a couple of people who did not like that, i.e. Kyron Chase himself. But my boy Steve over there is thumbs up, smiling, and just like, yeah, Alexa Bliss, that's my girl, yeah. So I want to know first, Steve, your take on it, and then I'm going to talk to you, Kyron, because I'm super curious. I feel like you're going to go on a rant for like 3 hours just talking about how you can't stand Alexa Bliss. But Steve, tell me what's good.
Yeah, I mean, I predicted Alexa Bliss to win because she was the only heel there in that women's Money in the Bank ladder match. And as I and I'm sure others here on this program have said, that heels are best ones to have the Money in the Bank briefcase, whether they actually hold it or cash it in the same night. Then when she won, said Money in the Bank became Miss Money in the Bank, and then her holding up the briefcase in this night, I had a feeling, though I didn't say it, but I had a feeling that she probably would cash in the same night. She kind of made me think of what Dean Ambrose, my guy there in the men's division, did when he cashed in the same night in 2016, I believe that year was, when he cashed in his Money in the Bank contract the same night. So Alexa Bliss to cash in that same night and to cash it in what I would have thought Kyron would have believed in a better way than some people were predicting or thinking that Alexa Bliss would have cashed in the same night. So having her cash in that Raw Women's Championship match before an actual winner happened, whether Ronda was going to win it, whether Nia retained with a clean finish, either way. But Alexa Bliss winning the championship, now being a 5-time, one away from Charlotte Flair, who's 6-time, and then the number one being Trish Stratus, 7-time women's champion. So already being in the top women wrestlers, which I already had her up there. I had her Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, and others. So for Alexa Bliss to put her name up there in the top echelon in the women's division of current wrestlers, I certainly think it was the best business, and I do look forward to seeing whether you're a short reign or a long reign. I think it is good for my to have Bliss on the top again.
Kyron, let loose.
This match, Alexa Bliss. Listen, I am sick of Alexa Bliss. I am so damn sick of Alexa Bliss. I don't care what anyone says. I'm getting her. I mean, she held that women's title for 6-7 months and literally did nothing with it. She needed this win least in this match. She needed the least help, and she did the worst in this match. Lana looked better and did more than her. She spent the majority of the match outside of the ring. Now the problem, and then you got the ending, which she missed a cue. Becky had the briefcase. She had it unhooked, but she's just waiting, standing around. And Alexa missed a cue, and then when Alexa, she threw Becky off the ladder into another ladder, and she grabbed a briefcase. So of course, Alexa Bliss, because of how she looks, is the Miss Money in the Bank. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of Alexa Bliss. She is now. Well, I'll save that part later. But let's be honest. If Alexa did not have the ass she has, didn't just get a tit job, and wasn't a pretty blonde, I don't think she'd be getting the opportunity she's getting. She's good on the mic. Her ring skill is nothing special. I don't care what anyone says. She didn't do hardly anything in this match, and she won. And I get a lot of people love Alexa Bliss, and people like Alexa Bliss, whatever. But I am tired and sick of her. She's been on top of both women's divisions since she's really been on the main roster for real. You could have given this match to Becky, and I understand this because Becky's my favorite woman. You could have given this to Becky, who the crowd wanted to win. Ember, who could have used it too. I mean, I think the two that should have won from both brands are Becky or Ember. Or Natalya, for a reason I'll get into later. But regardless of Alexa winning the match, it was still a good match. I definitely think it's better than either women's Money in the Bank ladder match from last year. I'm gonna give the match a B plus.
Wow. Okay.
Just because I didn't want to sound redundant, I just decided to play the clip from my review.
Okay.
But
No
I have changed a little bit on one thing. Just because of the segment we got the night after with Ronda and Alexa, I guess you could say it kind of worked. But I still stand by the fact that if Natalya had the most like personal relationship with Ronda, it could have worked more with Natalya in terms of playing off the emotion of Ronda. But what's done is done.
All right.
I got something to say.
Go ahead.
I actually didn't really care at all.
You didn't care?
I saw Alexa Bliss one. I was like, okay, that's fine. I mean, like not like fine, but like I would have preferred someone else to win, like someone who needed it more. Like Becky has been very, like her place on the cards has been very stagnant, and we had a little thing like. I feel like a feud between Charlotte and Becky would be cool to see.
It'd be
Considering they're both like they're very close, like friends, like we've seen on screen and off screen. I feel like the storytelling would be good. Maybe they could go as far as they've gone with Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, or maybe I'm just stretching it too far.
They have not gone all the way yet.
I don't think they're going to, because like they're not doing. I've just been watching Raw and SmackDown in passing, like recently, like after Money in the Bank. Like, are they doing anything with Becky? Are they doing anything with Charlotte?
No. Well, Charlotte's taking time off with injury, and her ESPN magazine shoot, which congrats to her to that. But Charlotte's just dealing with injury, and I don't know, they're not doing much with Becky. I mean, she did beat both members of Absolution over the last couple of weeks, and Billy Kay, but she's not really doing much.
I think they just I think they went with Alexa Bliss just to be safe, I guess, because like people like her. Maybe like I don't doubt that it's just for the reasons that Kyron stated in his rant.
Yeah, we don't have to see those. I think everybody knows.
Yeah.
When Alexa cashed in, I kind of agree with you, bro. I was like, man. Well, I'm not gonna lie to you. I wasn't expecting it, but did it have to happen? No.
Especially like I don't know why. Like I feel like you could do so much with the Money in the Bank briefcase that cashing it in on the same night is the last thing that anybody should like do. Like storytelling wise.
It's not even that. I think it's who cashed it in.
You know, I'm fine with it being cashed in because it would have been like if Ronda won, then she would have got the title too early in her second match. But if Nia won, then that would have hurt Ronda's, momentum as she can't lose yet. So I saw the cash in coming, especially when Alexa won the briefcase. I'm thinking, okay, all right, they gave it to her. I know that they're not going to have Ronda get beat by Nia or have her hit the title too early. So I'm expecting something to happen later on, maybe a double DQ or a cash in or something. So I was really expecting the cash in.
Right, that makes sense.
You want to say something, Steve?
I said above all these other things that we've been talking about of why, whether it made sense or not make sense of Alexa Bliss cashing in at the same night. I think that the other reason that hasn't been talked about here yet being that both, as even I predicted in the prediction show, of that two Raw superstars are going to be winning the Money in the Bank, and they did. Though it was different ones. I had Kevin Owens and Alexa Bliss, and it was Braun Strowman and Bliss. Point being is if you have two briefcases being on the same program, and especially the flagship of Raw, I think it behooved them to have one of them to cash in the same night. And between the two, it makes the most sense to have it being Bliss. One, because Brock's not on the show with Money in the Bank. And two, Alexa Bliss and her character, as I was stating, it just makes sense for her to then cash it in. Though I would have enjoyed and been interesting to see how she would have been as the Bachille that she is, and she's very good at it. With the briefcase and the teasing of cashing, just as well as Carmella did after she won a second time there the next week on SmackDown Live. But to have two Raw superstars with briefcases, made sense to have one of them cashing in. Of course, just with Brock not being there, have Alexa Bliss being the one to do so and go from there. So I think that above the other reasons we've been talking about, while I don't think it makes sense, I think the number one might be of the fact they decided to book two Raw superstars to win that briefcase, have one be cashed in, so you can then focus truly on the other one, which now is Braun Strowman and the men's contract in that briefcase.
Who do you think is the better champion, Alexa or Carmella?
Well, yeah.
Let's Steve answer
stalemate
first.
because
Let
I'm
Steve
bored.
answer first because those both of his girls. Steve, you answer that question first.
They are. One from Raw, one from SmackDown, my gals. But I would probably go with Alexa Bliss and the pedigree show ahead, or not 6-time. I'm already going ahead, but 5-time women's champion, and maybe even for her to even surpass Charlotte and then break the record of 7 again, as I was speaking before, of Trish Stratus as women's champion. Carmella on her own, hopefully she does have a nice long reign. Will go already all the way to WrestleMania. I don't know. I would hope so, but probably not. It probably will be ending at SummerSlam, but I certainly wouldn't be disappointed if she held the title past SummerSlam, obviously. But who's better between the two? My answer would be Alexa Bliss.
Gabe?
I don't know. I mean, like, sure. Carmella like cuts the same promo every time. I feel like she needs Ellsworth in her corner at this moment.
Yep.
Her matches aren't very like fun. Maybe I just have high expectations, but like
that was just me sometimes.
It just feels like when I'm watching a pay-per-view match with Carmella, I just feel like I'm watching SmackDown.
Yeah, pretty much.
She's just louder, and she's just louder female Enzo Amore, in my opinion.
I've heard that comparison.
I mean, they did start off together. I think I'm not like she started with them. I think in NXT. Alexa Bliss. I mean, like I like the thing she did at Elimination Chamber when she won, and she like cut like she started like with a face promo and then went straight to heel. I thought that was funny.
But Gabe, here's my problem with that, and
I am digging up the past though.
I don't remember who brought it up. It might have been Brian's name, might have been JD, might have been both of them. They said how when Alexa cut her promo the night after Money in the Bank, it started off as a humble babyface promo, but then she turned into the heel that she is.
Right.
The very next night, Carmella did the exact
same she did the same thing.
I feel like that was lazy booking on WWE's part. Now, for me, I'm not.
That's surprising.
I'm not a fan of either Carmella or Alexa, but if you ask me who I thought was better, I would say Alexa because she's better in the ring and definitely on the mic. And I don't feel like having to mute the TV whenever she wrestles because she screams her head off.
That's my Carmella impression. Yeah, I agree. Alexa Bliss, is better on the mic, and that's like the only thing. Like that's like the tiebreaker, I guess, because they're virtually the same. Just one's from like I don't even know where Alexa Bliss is from, but the other's like from Staten Island.
Now you see, like when it comes to those promos, only time I know Alexa Bliss really did good at that. I don't know I think it was Money in the Bank. No, it wasn't Money in the Bank. Sorry, I think it was Elimination Chamber. Was it Elimination Chamber?
Yeah, Gabe just brought it up.
Yep.
Oh, you just brought it up.
Yeah, I was just. I mean, that's what I was using as like.
Shit, I'm tripping. My bad. I'm on some stuff today.
You know something.
Well, here's the question to you guys. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Steve. Go ahead, Steve.
I was just gonna ask you guys, who do you think is gonna hold the title, or not? Maybe not longer. Either or. Who do you think is gonna hold the title longer? Who do you think is gonna lose the title first? Bliss or Carmella?
Carmella.
You know, Carmella, because I have them both dropping their titles at SummerSlam. If Alexa defends the title against Ronda at SummerSlam, she's dropping it. And I don't have Carmella going past SummerSlam. But you know something, Mark? You know what I want you to talk about? You know what match I want you to talk about for Money in the Bank, don't you?
What, Roman Reigns and Jinder Mahal?
Yeah, my brother. I want to hear what you guys say about that.
Okay. So what you want to hear?
I want to play the sound. Let's play the soundbite from my review of the show.
Be my guest. My guest. I got backup.
Afterward, I got.
Hold on. I'm gonna give the match a B+. Here we go. Oh my gosh. Roman Reigns versus Jinder Mahal, people. CM Punk sucks. Delete, delete, delete. Let's go beach ball. A Mexican wave. This match sucks. End this match. Y2J, Velveteen. That's what the crowd chanted during this match. Now, you hate hijacking, but WWE should have expected this. You get someone who the fans don't like in Roman Reigns, someone who's terrible in Jinder Mahal, and you put this match in Chicago, you knew they were going to hijack this match. And so, it literally, as soon as the bell rang, it was over for them, no matter what they did. And I'll be honest, I even gave this match the benefit of the doubt. I said, okay, let me go back and watch it and see what would have happened if I watched it on mute. The match was still boring as all hell. I don't remember anything that happened in the match besides Sunil Singh getting involved. That was the only thing. I even remember from that match. Roman won, obviously, and WWE should have seen this coming. I mean, you got someone in Roman who, like I said, the hardcore fans don't like in Chicago, my dad. And you got someone in Jinder Mahal who a lot of people don't think can work well, and he has such a methodical, slow-paced, wrestling style that no one's gonna enjoy it. And the match was god awful. Arguably the worst match of the night. I'm giving it a D-. I'll be honest, I thought this match was terrible. And you say, oh, Kyrie is being unfair because who's in it? I don't hate Roman Reigns. I mean, I don't like Jinder Mahal, but I tried, and here's how you can't tell me I was being unfair. I watched this match twice. I watched it last night when it aired, went to crowd, as loud, and then I muted it just now, watched it earlier today, and I barely remember anything that happened in it. All I remember is Sunil Singh pretending to be in a wheelchair and a sling in his arm. That's all I remember. This match was terrible, but I really expected nothing less. This match is everything I said it was going to be.
Inaccurate. That match was great. Now, let me explain to you why this match was great. One,
indulge us.
No.
You're in Chicago.
I want to hear Mark
You are in Chicago, the most ruthless city in wrestling history.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now they don't give two flying fucks about both Roman Reigns or Jinder Mahal. Okay, so let that just be the buffer. Okay,
Mark, didn't I say in the review that I muted and watched it a second time?
That's your opinion. I thought don't get me wrong, Jinder Mahal is a very methodical wrestler, but he is
methodical is not the right word to use.
Too
positive. Man, just say slow.
See, I said slow. Mark and Steve like Jinder Mahal, so they're gonna give him the leeway. Now, Mark, you know as well as I do, if it was another wrestler not named Jinder Mahal with Roman Reigns in that match, it's the same thing. You'd said it was god awful. Don't give him any brownie points because it was Jinder Mahal. I don't want to hear that.
I knew for a fact. I knew my man's Jinder Mahal was going to take the L because he was going against Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is the top guy in WWE right now.
But Mark, here's the thing. How come I was able to say that the match between John Cena and Roman Reigns in SummerSlam was not No Mercy wasn't good, and it had my favorite wrestler in it. But so obviously I can be critical of anybody. So, but you can't.
I just said the match was. Wait, am I tripping? Hold up. Wait, what are you saying?
If I can say a match with John Cena and Roman Reigns and No Mercy was not that good, and that has my favorite wrestler of all time in it, and I can say Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles did not have a good match at WrestleMania, that has two of the best in the world in it, then I can criticize anything. Why can't you do the same?
let me say this, okay? Let me clear the air, Karen. Let me clear it, Steve. I need your help right now.
You're taking hold on. You're taking a really methodical pace here, explaining here.
This is me and you, Mark. This is Calvin and Mark. This isn't Steve right now.
No, I don't need Steve. I got myself.
What the hell? You just said you did.
I got myself. All right. So first of all, don't get me wrong. The match was. Every match could always be better. All right. Okay. Two, like I said, they were in Chicago.
Well, obviously, every match can get better. That's the point.
Tell him. See, I didn't say Steve, I need your help that time. He said it, okay? He said it, not me. So, without that further, I'm not saying the match was 5-star. Because it was
1 star is too high.
Go ahead, give it a star rating, Mark. I gave it a D-, so I want to hear what your star rating is.
Star rating? Say 6.
Mark.
It's like nah. Real talk.
See,
I'm a fan of Jinder Mahal's, and you know, if I had to give it a
2.5, and I'm being nice.
See,
I said, and I'm being nice. I'm being nice.
Gabe, this
And
is what
honestly, and I was gonna say that I myself, even as a big fan of Jinder Mahal, and that's real talk. As a fan of Jinder Mahal, I give this 3 out of 5 stars. Give it 3 stars.
He's being super friendly.
Gabe,
I was being nice, giving him a 2.5. Giving him a 2.5.
They couldn't do the type of reviewing that I do. See, Steve and Mark, I love you guys, but they're too nice. They're too.
We are nice.
No, that's not true.
And, you know, I love being positive.
You don't watch me when I watch Money in the Bank.
Hold up,
But
Gabe.
not pay-per-views. Like certain pay-per-views, I get so pissed off. I just turn it off.
It takes a while for me to piss me off and rant at all, ever.
It does. And you know what? I love it. Yeah, I love that you're overall positive. And I'll be honest, I used to be the same way, but then I thought to myself, you know, Kyron, you're not going to get anywhere on YouTube if you're just trying to be everybody's friend. You got to sometimes be, you can't just say, oh, well, this could have done this. And yeah, I do that from time to time. But if something is awful, I will say it. Once again, you can watch my go to my No Mercy review and just watch my review on the last 3 matches. Look at how negative I was towards Cena and Reigns, how definitely negative I was towards Enzo Amore and Neville, and how much I went off on Lesnar and Strowman. I can be a positive person, but I sure won't let Data be off the hook if they give me something I don't like.
Understood, and I was the same way I'm talking to WJ in my own show. How I was getting actually going off. I guess you can call it a rant or whatever on Big Cass and how he fucked up his career and doing stupid shit outside the ring, and now he's on a WWE, and I kind of. Along with a rant, I also tried to end it as my positivity, my own power of positivity. Trying to give him a pep talk of, if you get your shit straight, you mature a little bit, come back and you can be that WWE champion I thought you could be as a heel.
I got some words about the Jinder Mahal versus Roman Reigns match.
Go ahead.
Tell
us.
All right, real talk. This was the best Money in the Bank match since CM Punk versus John Cena. I give it a 5-star rating. It's top caliber talent there. That should have been the main event. And the Chicago crowd is just a bunch of stupid smarks.
Ungrateful.
Don't appreciate real wrestling. Jinder Mahal is the best wrestler in the world. His hair is amazing.
You have 2 Money in the Bank ladder matches, plus the other WWE Championship with Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles, and you have modern day Maharaja Jinder Mahal against the big dog Roman Reigns in the main event. Think about that, Kyron, bro. Chase.
Yeah,
that's money right there. No, I'm kidding.
I'll tell you why. Because
before Kyron has an aneurysm from everything.
Hey, we don't want that. We don't want that.
I'm calm, cool, collected because
it's everything I said is completely contrary to how I believe. It was a boring match.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna lie to you. It wasn't.
I don't remember anything from that match. I didn't even remember friggin' Sunil Singh selling the Superman punch by jumping back into his wheelchair. I forgot about that before this podcast started. The only thing I remember is 1, 2, 3. Dun it.
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't tell you this, and Kyron, you're probably gonna laugh, knowing you. So I'm watching the Roman Reigns match. And I fall asleep. I'm not gonna lie to you. I fell asleep. I woke up and Roman Reigns won.
Just for the record, I'm just saying, how can you talk about me with my disdain for Jinder Mahal, but I gave the benefit of the doubt of watching the match twice. You couldn't sit through it one time, and you
I went back, bro. I went back.
He watched it a second time himself because he fell asleep. He had to watch what he missed.
I went back, bro.
It's funny because I kept falling asleep through the entire pay-per-view and I couldn't be bothered to watch it again.
Here's what I actually do.
Oh, seriously. That Bobby Lashley Sami Zayn match, that could have been canceled.
Wait, what? That was on the card?
That was bad too.
I completely forgot that was
Which one was worse?
I
I do feel bad
really
though for Sami Zayn. He's out now until
2019,
2019.
WrestleMania next year, man.
But
honestly,
still,
and here's the thing: in my review, other than the Mahal and Reigns match, and the Zayn and Lashley match, every other match and mostly the booking of Carmella and Asuka, I actually said it was a pretty good show. Cass and Daniel Bryan was a million times better than I thought it was going to be. Both Money in the Bank matches pretty good. Rollins and Elias was good.
the hell's that?
Ronda and Nia was the shock of the night, and AJ and Shinsuke finally had a match I could say can go in the top 10 of the year.
Oh wow, you put a top 10?
I said possibly. I mean, obviously,
I didn't hear.
And it's unfortunate that it because being fired shortly after the pay-per-view that he has one of his best matches of his return, and the best match in his short feud, of course, with Daniel Bryan. I mean, that match actually was pretty dang good.
I mean, if we're talking main roster, then yes, AJ and Shinsuke's last man standing match, I will put in the top 10 of the year so far. But like I said, I mean, I disagree with Braun Strowman winning the Money in the Bank. Same reason as Alexa, because he didn't need it. I felt like it doesn't fit his character unless he calls Brock out and tries to challenge for the title. Unless WWE's going to use that scapegoat at SummerSlam when Lesnar and Reigns gets booed out of the building in New York, and they got to send Strowman in there as a just like he did Seth Rollins. That's what they're going to do. And then Reigns is going to continue to bitch about, I'm getting scammed by everyone. It's vomiting inducing.
I'm the Universal Champion.
Oh man. I'm just saying, all this could have been avoided if Reigns just won the title in the middle of WrestleMania.
Yep.
Roman
They had to put that. They
Yeah.
had to put that match on last for some reason.
They just had to. Honestly, and his thing, I will say this: Money in the Bank for me, maybe next to Royal Rumble was the best main roster pay-per-view all year.
Wait, you said
Maybe.
Money in the Bank?
Money in the Bank, as in the pay-per-view we just had, was to me the best main roster pay-per-view of the year.
I guess I don't really remember much that happened to it the past pay-per-views. Not gonna lie. I mean, Royal Rumble was pretty fun.
Yeah,
Royal Rumble was the only one I'll put head to head because I thought Elimination Chamber, other than the two chamber matches, was pretty mediocre. Fastlane, I don't remember anything besides the main event really. WrestleMania, I thought was disappointing. Backlash is one of the worst pay-per-views WWE's done in a long since Battleground last year.
It was gross.
Both
Yeah.
those can go rotten hell as far as I'm concerned. And now we have Money in the Bank. So yeah, I think Money really other than three matches, I was pretty positive towards Money in the Bank. And a few booking decisions. But with like I said, the rest of the but every other main roster pay-per-view other than Royal Rumble, I can't say I left satisfied or thought it was good. Now, of course, this doesn't count any of the takeover shows because those are always top notch. But like other than Royal Rumble and Royal Rumble, Money in the Bank are only two main roster pay-per-views I can say I undoubtedly liked.
I agree. This is just going to be the entire podcast. It's going to be Kyron speaking the truth and me saying, yeah, or I agree.
Yeah, that's how you know you knew. This is what I do.
That's what I do.
I'm riding the coattails of Kyron. That's my safety net. So I don't piss off the fans immediately.
When in doubt, agree with Kyron Chase.
Mm-hmm. He's the future creative writer, future manager, future YouTuber. Oh, he's not really future, but future famous YouTuber. He's got everything.
This is all on a planet where everything goes right.
Yeah.
They fired Jimmy Jacobs over a picture. Remember that.
Oh man, I mean they fired Paul London for smiling. Remember, Vince was originally going to fire Titus O'Neil for grabbing him, but
I was going to say Titus was lucky he didn't get fired.
If it wasn't for Triple H and Jamie Noble talking him down, he would have been.
Yeah.
And what did he do again?
That'd have been done some stupid shit.
No,
yeah,
that wasn't even stupid. All right, it was Daniel Bryan's retirement speech.
No,
And,
not what he did is stupid. I said it would have been stupid if they fired his ass.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
I probably would have.
That would have been stupid.
Basically, it was at the Daniel Bryan retirement speech, and as everyone was, on the stage, yes, doing the yes chant. Daniel and Bree went to the back, and Vince was about to go next, and Titus grabbed Vince, and Vince shoved him. But Titus wasn't trying to be ill enough. He was just trying to basically, tell Vince let Stephanie go first, ladies first. And Vince overreacted as usual. I mean, I'm not a big Titus O'Neil fan in terms of on screen, but off screen,
he's a great guy.
I love the guy. He's
Yeah, he is definitely future ambassador of WWE.
That's exactly what I was just about to say. He's like the ambassador. I mean, they fired Darren Young
for life. Even when his wrestling career, does end, he'll still be with the company.
Mm-hmm.
In other aspects.
Titus Worldwide is a
recruiter.
A thing out of all of the things I've seen on on Monday Night Raw, out of all the running things that have happened, Titus Worldwide is definitely one of them, and that's all I have to say.
Wait, what about Titus? What about Titus Catering?
It's definitely.
All right.
You hate my boy Titus O'Neil. Titus. Ooh, what?
Ooh.
Yeah. Wait, I don't think I can do that because I think that's
yeah, I know. I can't even do it right, so it doesn't really matter.
Just what? That's my God. Ooh, man, serious, bro.
I mean, here's the thing.
Come move.
Making $1 million moves. There we go.
Yeah, Steve, get it.
Yes.
Titus Catering. Oh my God.
After the B-Team barbecue, it's not even a joke anymore. I mean, you got him coming out and talking about macaroni and cheese and brisket. I mean, Titus was always telling WWE they could do better with his catering service than whatever the B-Team barbecue was made from.
Hey, B-Team was some booty cheeks, but they up next. Watch, they about to win. Watch, they're gonna win. They're gonna win the tag title.
That's because they've done the bare minimum with Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy as champions.
Yeah,
it's like they're not even champion, tag team champions. That's what it feels like because they're just cutting promos.
Yeah,
there's no rivalry that's building except for B Team. We're gonna win, and Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt are no. That's the story. That's the storyline that's happening right now.
I would say more paper transitional champions, whatever you want to call it. As you already stated, Gabe there. But either way, I do agree. I probably see the B Team winning the titles, which, if you think about it, will be very interesting. I mean, I do enjoy both superstars, and they deserve some. I'm about fame and winning a championship, though. Of course, Curtis Axel, former Intercontinental Champion himself. Bo Dallas, I think, is even a former NXT champion, right, Kyron?
They're longest reigning.
Yeah, so they are champions in their own right. So to have them all together and hopefully become the Raw Tag Team.
Oh my God, guys! I think Google autofill is completely summing up how Curtis Axel's career has been going.
Okay.
All right, so I was searching up. I was just Googling Curtis Axel to see when he was repackaged as Curtis Axel, and the only thing that the first thing that pops up is Curtis Axel dad. People are more concerned for Mr. Perfect that still, even now to this day, they're still concerned more over Mr. Perfect than Curtis Axel. I'm not saying that's I'm not saying it's a bad thing because I think.
Bro, remember when he was Michael McGillicuddy?
Yeah, I remember the moment of the genesis of McGillicuddy. I remember that.
Oh God, that promo was cringe.
Of McGillicuddy.
Remember when he was with Paul Heyman and he won the IC championship?
That's the only notable thing he did is Curtis Axel.
Remember when he beat up Triple H until he couldn't continue?
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Yeah, I remember that.
He out wrestled Triple H, and now he's wearing an undershirt with Sharpie on it.
You remember when he was acting like Hulk Hogan?
Yeah, and then the Hulk Hogan thing went down, and then he just wore shorts.
He couldn't do it no more.
He actually had a pop though at one point when he was doing it.
Yeah, man, he actually was getting over until Well, we know what happened. We don't need to talk about it.
Just think we might get Hogan back in the company soon.
I mean, personally, even though I've never been a Hogan guy, I've forgiven Hogan for what he said.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I was angry in the first half, but I've forgiven him for what he said. I mean, if they feel like they can bring him back, that's great. My whole problem is I don't like how, even though what he said was offensive to me, what he said, they blackballed him, but yet they honored the Ultimate Warrior as this, as this great person. When we all know that Ultimate Warrior is a bigger a-hole than Hogan was.
Now, I really don't remember exactly what Hogan said, and we don't have to say it.
Well, basically, let's just leave it at this. He was saying something about saying the N-word about African Americans. We'll leave it at that.
All right.
Okay, well, this is the thing, and I'm just gonna say off of my experience with other white people, in regards to this word.
We've already, you know what? Yeah, they're not part of this. Maybe they
No.
we are in.
No, I'm just saying, and I'm gonna kind of correlate in a sense. I've asked people, and they've said, yeah, white people for the most part, especially in our generation, they say it a lot. So if Hogan, it depends on what the context, because I really don't remember. It depends on the context of what Hogan was saying. If he was saying, like, hey, this is what somebody said.
I think his daughter was dating a black guy.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay, yeah. I don't know now. I think I'm going to have to reverse my decision.
Retraction.
Yeah, that's the problem.
But it's like I said, why even though what Hogan said was messed up, why is it WWE blackballs Hogan? But when you have Ultimate Warrior who came close to saying Hurricane Katrina was a good thing, mock drives for a disability, and of course saying, and I'm quoting him here, queering doesn't make the world work, basically saying something homophobic. And let's not forget him holding Vince up for money, and he threatened to no-show the big SummerSlam 91's main event, and everything he did after that, then the WCW stuff he did, and then you bring him back, and you name a Humanitarian of the Year award after him, like he's a humanitarian or something. I'm sorry. It's sort of just like when they named the women's battle after the
Fabulous Moolah. Yeah.
I had nothing about that. I heard nothing about that until Kyron told me. I was like, wait, what's so wrong with the Fabulous Moolah?
See, I had known about I was like, oh shit. See, I knew about the Fabulous Moolah because before that. So as soon as I heard they were honoring a battle royal after her, and when I went off, Mark let me well, what's the problem with that, Kyron? She is a women's wrestling legend. I said, why don't you go ahead and Google the stuff she's done and then come back to me? And you
actually showed me. I had no idea.
Because and it's just I get what these people did. They may be legends in ways, but what Moolah did is some of the worst stuff I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree.
Even worse than anything Hogan said or did, anything worse than what Warrior said. Because at the end of the day, at least they didn't physically hurt anybody. Mm-hmm. What Moolah was doing was legitimately hurting people.
Yeah, literally.
Literally, it's different. I just don't see how you can do that though. What? You don't even have a soul if you do that.
I'm reading about it. I'm trying to find out what.
Well, pretty much she
stole. She didn't really train the women. She was supposed to be training. She took their wages and they got less. She ran a whole. She basically was a pimp. And pimp was
pimping them out for to the wrestlers, male wrestlers.
She herself even raped a few of the women. Her husband did. That's some of the stuff she was doing.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I know. That's the same thing. The same way I felt, Gabe. I was like,
that's why WWE had to make quick pass and hurry and changing that.
The only thing I read about was something about sexual exploitation. That's just
it was beyond sexual exploitation, bro.
Borderline trafficking.
It was trafficking. This isn't borderline.
Yeah, pretty much it was. Not even to an extreme.
Yeah, this is no borderline or that's kind of no. She was. I'm not holding. She was a pimp. I'm not holding nothing back.
What's that? My man's Malik.
I don't even know what y'all talking about, bro.
We went from Curtis Axel to Hulk Hogan to Fabulous Moolah. And originally we were talking about Money in the Bank, but that
We
was
rambled off on.
Welcome to the Wrestling Ramble.
This isn't the Wrestling Ramble.
Oops,
Hey,
wrong
over.
show. Wrong
Why?
show.
Man,
Let's
that's
let's
a
switch.
shot, bro. You trying to come back from the show like that, Mark?
Let's switch hangouts, guys.
He said the Wrestling Ramble. That's a Steve show.
I feel like the only reason that they're treating like Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior. I mean, the only reason not Hulk Hogan, because he actually had some consequences there. He got his contract terminated. Yeah, like I think the reason they're treating like the situations with Fabulous Moolah and Ultimate Warrior, they're treating him differently. They're still like they're like trying to honor them, and just like completely erase. I'm not like defending what Chris Benoit did. I'm not one of those people. I'm not one of those idiots that says he didn't do it. I'm not the guy that goes, Kevin Sullivan did it. It's not true.
Yeah, me neither.
He's good at wrestling. He couldn't have done it.
I mean,
like it's just because of like the extreme, like I guess like, yeah, because like murder suicide is a crazy topic, and it's much easier to understand. No one, like literally nobody could agree with it, and it got a lot more media coverage than Warrior's homophobia and Mullah's.
well, and you also got to take into account when Warrior said it was toward the early 2000s, and he wasn't wrestling anymore.
Right.
Moolah did this stuff back in like the 50s and 60s, so obviously there was no social media and stuff, so that stuff didn't get around. What Benoit did happened in 2007, and I remember it like it was yesterday. WWE even ran a tribute show for him that night. And I didn't know. And then during the show, that's when everything came up. And it really made the wrestling business look bad in a way, because it's like now everyone's thinking, they run their wrestling to the ground and everything. And then that's when and things like that. I mean, what Benoit did was a terrible thing. But I'm still going to go about watching his matches, because I feel like they're still good matches to watch.
Right.
To
an extent, I can still I need to stress the to an extent part a lot, but like in some cases I have like little to no problem with separating the artist from the art. I mean,
for example, I for one, like, here's a prime example, and I know it's just fresh in mind, and some people still don't believe he did it, whether you do or not. Like, let's look at Bill Cosby, for example. I'm not going to stop watching the Cosby Show because of what happened with him. I mean, I was watching just now before we started going live. So, I mean, I'm not going to... Am I going to stop watching the WrestleMania 20 main event? Absolutely not, because it's one of my favorite matches of all time. Heck, his moment with Eddie Guerrero is still one of my favorite moments of all time. But, I mean, but at this point...
Like, speculation. Nobody really knows what happened in that house. I mean, they say that there's speculation is what happened, but nobody really knows what happened for real. Like, we don't know what exactly went down. We don't know what he did.
I liked Little Bill though.
That show was good but the Cosby Show was one of the greatest shows of all time.
Hey, Cosby Show is the best black TV show in history.
I agree firmly with that, Malik.
Fresh Prince isn't better than Cosby Show, because the Cosby Show really started it all, but Fresh Prince.
It didn't start it all, but it revolutionized it, because it wasn't just about being funny. It
was about the success of the TV show. Like, you look at the characters, they were all successful.
I mean, you had
but it's the point of the show, where like if you look at the show, we're like,
they were all doing that, all successful at it.
Yeah.
If you look at the show, like you.
I'm sorry. Did he just freeze?
He froze.
We lost
I don't hear a damn word.
We lost you.
Do what?
We couldn't hear you like the last.
Hear a single word you said it. I'm sorry. Something about the Cosby Show.
I was going in a different room. That's why. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Yep.
I was just saying, like, if you look at the concept of the show, like you have a black lawyer, you have a black doctor, Like the kids are successful, they're smart, like they're educated. You know what I'm saying? Like this is not, you don't see a lot of black TV shows like that. It was sending a message to everybody.
Mm-hmm. And then you have the greatest sitcom mom of all time, and arguably the greatest sitcom dad of all time. So,
I mean, yeah, Cosby Show the best black TV show of all time to me. That's my opinion. It's definitely the most successful. If you look at the numbers, it's the most successful.
Yep.
And just because what happened with Bill Cosby, I'm not gonna stop watching the Cosby Show. So.
Me neither. I was just watching it before we went live.
It ain't got nothing to do with me, but I mean, the whole Chris Benoit thing, that to me is just.
Oh, I forgot this was a wrestling podcast.
That's what we do, man. We just go off on other tangents.
This is Steve's Wrestling Rambo 2.0.
I don't want to sound like I'm criticizing.
The Chris Benoit thing,
because I love this.
I just feel like there are things. I don't know. I just feel like nobody knows what really happened. Like they speculated. They said what they said about it, but like nobody really knows what happened in the house. Like nobody really knows what happened, what he did. Or he might have went crazy. He could have went crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he didn't. He might have lost his mind and just started going crazy. I don't know what happened, but I don't know. I feel like there is like speculations about it that nobody really knows. That nobody would never know about because the only people that know what happened, they're not alive anymore. So they're all dead.
I mean, I'll be honest. I personally do at times wish WWE would acknowledge his matches and things like that. I mean, let's be honest. WrestleMania 20's ending is one of the greatest WrestleMania moments of all time.
Of all time, exactly.
And that match is one of the greatest triple threat matches, if not the greatest. And I do feel like a little upset at times when you go to WWE.com and when you look at post WrestleMania 20, it doesn't show the main event. That does kind of annoy me.
Yeah, they don't acknowledge nothing about him. You can't speak about him, man. It's just he'll never be acknowledged. He's never gonna be in the Hall of Fame. It's just.
At least they got his match on the network, so I can still watch that whenever I want.
I mean, you can't get rid of those. I mean, you can't. I mean, it could, but it's like it's just not.
That'd be a lot of extra work.
I understand people's perspective about it, but like I'm saying, he'll never be in the Hall of Fame. He's never going to be acknowledged. You just can't. It's never going to be the same because every time you hear the name Chris Benoit, that's what you think about now. You just think about your mind just goes to that. It's not like you're doing it on purpose. It's just that's what it goes to. It's like damn, like that's what you think about.
Exactly, and like Brian Zane made a great point in his Chris Benoit video. He said how, it's gonna be different when you watch a video with, let's say, of China or Eddie Guerrero and say, oh, that person's dead. That's sad, but it's impossible not to watch a Benoit match and not think about what he did.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. I've heard wrestlers even say that if he got into the Hall of Fame, they wouldn't even go. So,
really?
Yeah, Chris Jericho said he wouldn't go. He said he wouldn't even want to be there. Chavo Guerrero said he wouldn't want to be there. Rey Mysterio.
And those are some of his best friends.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, there's one thing that I've noticed. Like when they do like the thing before the Royal Rumble, when they just throw a bunch of like records at you.
Yeah, they never talk about the Chris Benoit record.
This is what they say. I think like almost verbatim. There have only been 2 people who've won from the number 1 spot in the Royal Rumble. One of them being Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, they don't say Chris Benoit.
That's how it is.
They don't say Chris Benoit.
And here's one thing that WWE might have to count their blessings for in a way. Is Rey. If Rey hadn't lasted about 2 extra minutes, if Rey Mysterio didn't last 2 minutes in 06, Benoit had the record.
Mm-hmm.
So if Rey didn't last about 2 extra minutes, then what would they do? Because you can't say,
well, they would have had somebody beat the record eventually.
Yeah,
right?
they probably would.
Somebody would have beat the record.
You can't say you can't say like when Shawn Michaels ended number 1, oh, that could have brought a record. No, it couldn't because the match didn't even last 40 minutes. So
yeah, they would have had somebody break that record. There's no way they had somebody break the record. It's just like I don't know. I mean, it's like I understand why they don't acknowledge him, but it's like it's really like hard to because it's.
Whoa.
Oh.
You might have pressed a button and didn't mean to.
Maybe he died.
Okay.
I think I don't know. No one. Yeah, I like the Ramble though. I mean, Money in the Bank was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, Money in the Bank was good, and I mean, I'm not going to say it's going to be on the par usually what I enjoy Money in the Bank. I mean, I've said in the past on my own show, Money in the Bank being the 3rd best pay-per-view WWE has, behind the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. This year, it may not have gone to that expectation of my own, which is already high, whether correct or incorrect. But I do think that the show did deliver, and I do think definitely for an overall grade for Money in the Bank, as Kyron does it on his own channel, I probably give the show overall the grade of a B plus.
I believe I gave it like a B to a B plus. I did when I gave 2 matches a D and a D minus. I believe I gave another match a C. So that kind of brought it down a little bit. But I did, because of the strength of other matches, I was able to give it a passing grade. Honestly, I'll be honest. I don't think it was as good as say Money. Obviously, wasn't as good as Money in the Bank 2011. I only think it was as good as Money in the Bank 2016. But it was definitely a solid show, better than last year's show for sure. So I mean, I thought it was an all right show. Definitely, it miles better than Backlash was back in May, because that pay-per-view was terrible.
Seriously, they could do anything at Money. They could do literally anything at Money in the Bank would have been better than Backlash, and they did, of course. They had the show. So if the show didn't even happen, then that's the only way Backlash would be better than Money in the Bank, basically. Yeah. I was going to say the other big, the big news moving forward with WWE being the rumors, or whether it's true, work, or shoot. And I did see Ultra Central's video about it, and I shared it with the group on Twitter. It's about Brock Lesnar, which is going to work SummerSlam. What do you guys think of that?
I don't think
nobody knows what the fuck going on with Brock Lesnar. Man, he does whatever he wants, man. It don't even matter anymore.
Let's just say, I hope he's doing a really good job as a father. If he's taking off all of that time, his kids better be getting A pluses.
You know something?
Definitely. I'm sure he is. He's just honestly. Honestly, whether people like him or not, he's definitely a smart businessman. He gets what he wants. He knows what he wants.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not mad. I can't be mad at what he's doing. I mean, I can't say I would do the same thing. So I mean,
you know something? You know what I heard? Davey's rumor. Is it a rumor plan for Davey to do?
Okay.
Okay, this is to get sympathy on Reigns, which isn't going to work, and make people despise Lesnar, which we already do. But this is what they're thinking about doing. Having Lesnar not only not defend the title, but go to UFC shows with the title and be in the UFC with the title. They're thinking about doing that. Because that will get fans on Roman Reigns' side. How stupid can WWE be to try that?
I wouldn't even care if that happened, to be honest. I wouldn't even be like,
that'd be
UFC fans would laugh.
Yeah, seeing that abomination title. That title is worthless. My phone is worth more than that title is.
Yeah, it's not even the fact that it's a worthless title in WWE. It's the fact that it's a title in WWE. Right. Also, it looks kind of gross.
Kind of. It is.
Kind of, not kind of. I'm being nice.
Remember people's reaction when they first debuted that thing, and all those, whether actual reactions or on Twitter reactions.
Yeah,
I like watching the live reactions in the crowd. It's just like gross. The guys are like, "Oh, for real."
I don't know.
I tell you, it's funny.
I don't know if they ever do that. I
thought it was hilarious when they revealed it, and Grim was in the audience. And when they revealed, he said, "Please be a joke." It was that bad.
The title doesn't bother me anymore like it used to. That's kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, it hasn't grown on me. I've just gotten.
I was more worried. What bothered me more about the title was the name. I hated.
Yeah, so I was just say that had to grow on me too.
Universal.
I hated the name more than the title. When they said it was the Universal title, I was like,
why couldn't they just bring back the big gold belt?
I wanted that.
Why can't we have the World Heavyweight title? Like, what's wrong with the World Heavyweight title?
I heard a great song based off that match and that title. It went like this: Jam belt, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when the fans all boo? Because not a single fan. Remember, heck, when JoJo was doing the announcement, when she said Universal title, the whole crowd started booing. That's how much they hated that design of that title.
I don't know, but now it's just kind of there. But like, usually their titles.
No, it's not there.
Usually their titles are usually like.
It needs to be back on the show.
Their titles are usually better than what they look. I mean, their titles usually look better than what it was. So when
they're really now they're just all the same.
It was kind of surprising when they kind of revealed it. I was like,
my opinion, like, on like the new design of like virtually all of the main roster titles. I mean, I'm fine with the idea of emphasizing the WWE logo, but they're not doing anything else with all that empty like leather that's just like in the front plate.
That's why I feel like the United Kingdom Championship is one of the better designs, because they do take the logo design, but they add more to it.
No, it's I think right now my favorite title, like right now, like in the in the WWE right now, just like based on looks.
Mm-hmm.
Because like it actually looks prestigious because it looks like something that's like I don't even like know. It's just, I can't speak. I should quit podcast. I should quit the
No, don't do that. It's all right.
It's all right. Okay.
I still
I'm wasting. I'm going now. See y'all.
we're talking about title design. My favorite title design of all time, the Undisputed Championship. That is from the WWE title design from 2002 to 05. That's my favorite title design. You also got the Winged Eagle title, the Attitude Era WWE title, the Intercontinental Championship that had the blue on it.
I know what word I was looking for. I know what word I was looking for. It's prestigious. The title looks actually very prestigious.
Prestigious.
God.
My favorite title of all time, probably the WWE.
I love the spinning belt.
The WWE, the old WWE title, the one that JBL used to have. He had for like 10 months.
Yeah, the one I just said, the Undisputed title design.
I like
watching too much war culture.
Yeah.
That's how British people say prestigious.
I like that one. I like the one Cena created, the spinner one.
I love the spinner belt.
Spinner belt's fine. It looked good on only John Cena, and
that was the problem with it.
And they kept it for some reason. It was freaking gross.
But it didn't. Actually, over the years, it didn't spin though. They took the spin out of it, so it was.
They took the spin out in 07.
So the spin wasn't there anymore, but the spinner one was the U.S. spinner one was dope too.
I hate the U.S. spinner one is disgusting if you ask me.
Nah, that one was dope. I had that one when I was a kid. I bought that one when I was like 6 years old, man. That shit.
It's gross. It doesn't look like a title. It does not look like a title at all.
That was disgusting. I'm sorry, but
I had the Undisputed one growing up. I remember my mom getting it from me, and then the tag team one, the World Tag Team Championship.
I had the spinner, the WWE title spinner. I had the Hardcore Championship. Now, mind you, these are the toy versions. These aren't the good ones. These are the toy ones.
I used to have the only ones I had were the Cruiserweight one, the old one.
I had the spinner belt like toy version that didn't even spin, so I was super bummed out that I couldn't just like wiki with it like a DJ.
No, I had.
Right now, it's the only one I have though.
And for me, the only two titles I ever had were the toy ones, and that was the Hardcore and the World Heavyweight. And for replica titles, I would love to get. And I always keep looking at least monthly for that Wing Eagle Attitude Era title belt and the World Heavyweight Championship belt, because those two I would shell out the good money for to get the authentic.
I might buy a belt, but I ain't gonna buy the expensive ones. The ones that'd be like $300. Fuck all that.
I'm definitely not buying a belt. I can promise you that.
I definitely might. I might get one when they go on sale, because when they go on sale, they're like.
They went on sale not too long ago, actually.
Well, when you're about to go to, when you're getting ready.
That's why if I am able to go to WrestleMania, and go to that Access and look at all the title belts, I looking but not be able to buy.
For some reason, I used to have like the WWE CW title, like world title, the one from like 2008, like the just silver one. I had that one, yeah.
No, yeah.
It's not even like a bad design. It's just straight up boring because it's like silver.
Steve, I beg you, please do not get a title if you go to Access. It's like $500. I'm not even joking.
They mark it up there?
It's so expensive, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna just go through these titles and just speak my mind real quick. The Universal title is gross. At least like I know they want all of the titles to look for the same for some freaking reason. At least just have that small piece of leather in the front plate that you're not using at all. You can keep that red. Just make the strap black. WWE title, fine. It's boring. The United States Championship, I like the colors. Intercontinental Championship looks vintage, cool. The Women's Championship's the same thing. And it just all looks the same. Why does it look the same? Tag Team Championship is kind of gross too. I don't like the colors of the straps. I don't like the fact that it's like boring. It looks like coins. The Cruiserweight Champion.
You always finished.
All right. The Cruiserweight Championship. It'd be much better if the strap was black and the plates were gold. That's my opinion. NXT Championship looks nice. It looks more modern and it kind of looks like something you'd see in like MMA.
But here's my problem with NXT. I was fine with the original designs. I understood why they had to change it. Because when you see the women's title within a sex act, it's gonna be weird when you just change one. But I like the design of the men's NXT championship. I love that design. I like the design of the women. I love the silver plate and a black leather. Now they just look the same. There's no problem. They're still good designs. Tag team titles, they got a new design. They're pretty much the same thing. And
yeah, they all look the same, just with like different like they have the same shape to them. They just have like little like tad differences to them.
The North American title is actually a cool design, and it's different.
Oh, it's so cool. I like the giant. I like the really wide like straps. Those were cool. Like the one that they have for the North American Championship and the old NXT Championship.
Mm-hmm.
The United Kingdom Championship is really nice. It looks like something like a royalty would hold.
That's what it's supposed to do.
Same thing, yeah. Same thing with the big gold belt. I'm just going through like past belts now. The Divas Championship. It looks
disgusting.
A Claire's. It's a Claire's accessory. It looks like something. It's like a ring. It looks like
I'm thinking about it now. Like I legit can't stand that word. That like thinking about divas in wrestling. Like I just thinking about it now, that word really pisses me off.
Yeah, it doesn't like it because it doesn't sound like you're a wrestler. It just sounds like you're stuck up. It's not something that's intimidating. Doesn't like draw you in. Like TNA, they called their women's division knockouts. That's fine. That's cool because like women. Why can't you just say women? But like whatever, knockouts. It's flashy. It's catchy. Makes sense. Divas. It just sounds like they don't do anything when they on their own. Here's the definition of diva according to Google. I just searched it in the images. Hold on, give me another second. Okay, so here are the several definitions that it's giving me. A famous female opera singer. A famous female singer of popular music. A self-important person who is temperamental and difficult to please, typically used of a woman.
There it is. That's the definition I was looking for.
What does that have to do with wrestling? At all.
Not a damn thing. But,
if you want like the women that you're hiring to have like a bit of dignity, don't brand them as divas.
That's what I'm saying. I just couldn't see the wrestlers, the women wrestlers nowadays being called divas. I just couldn't. It wouldn't sit well with me. Like these women are busting their ass, and like to be called divas, like I don't even think they like it. I know they don't like it. I know for a fact they don't like it. I'm happy they changed it because when they changed it, I was like, it's about time, man. Like,
you know but here's the problem with that, Mark. It's counterproductive. You have the women's division, but you still have a reality show called Total Divas.
I agree. I
mean, I don't watch that show anyway. I
mean, what would you call it at this point? Total women.
I would get rid of it.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
It defeats the purpose.
Obviously, it's fake. Obviously, it is fake. Same with Total.
What? Yo, are you trying to tell me that Raw and SmackDown are fake too? Because I don't think so, man. Okay, calling I don't know. I feel like I'm doing an injustice by calling wrestling fake because there's a lot of real stuff that goes into it. So,
like,
Can we please not get into that conversation now?
I'm trying to make friends with everybody. Hi, I don't know. I didn't see what I looked like when I did that. Probably looked like a tool. But like branding your women's division as divas is like branding your male division as like narcissist or something.
That was a gimmick Lex Luger had.
I mean, that's a Lex Luger gimmick. It's a gimmick, yeah. Like why? Like it's something like you could give to one character. Maybe you could have a diva-esque style, like character of like one wrestler that was stuck up and felt highly of themselves.
That's what Carmella's gimmick is.
That's pretty much every heel or like half of the heel wrestler, like women wrestlers right now, and the other half are just like buff and trying to kill you.
Like 75% of the women's wrestler heroes are like that.
Yo, remember Tamina? What's up with her? Well,
She's in. She tore a rotator cuff. Or collarbone, one or the other. She got injured.
Again?
Yeah.
I don't remember anything she's done with her career. I mean, like, not she's done, like, they've done with her.
I never thought she was that good to begin with. So.
I haven't seen enough of her, I guess.
Yeah, she's really underused.
She's just been given, like, the bodyguard gimmick. Like, she was AJ Lee's bodyguard for a little bit. She was, like, or, like, just, like, enforcer. She was Naomi's for a little bit, and then Team BAD, or was it Team Bad? Did they call it Team Bad?
That was terrible.
That's a great name. That's almost as good as Submission Sorority.
Oh God.
Team Bad. It's like you just don't. It's like they're trying to keep them from getting over, calling them Team Bad.
Well, that's what happened in the first.
Oh yeah,
half.
true.
I mean, remember?
Yeah, in that SummerSlam match, they didn't get any like eliminations. They were just the first ones, like out, done.
Here was my problem with it. And I echoed this when I did my top 10 matches 2015, and I put Sasha and Bayley in Brooklyn at number 1. And I said in that video, after the Divas Revolution flopped on the main roster the way it did, I was almost ready to give up on women's wrestling. And then Sasha and Bayley had that match in Brooklyn, and I said, because I'll be honest, I was not watching NXT at that point. I had just watched TakeOver that night because, I heard about NXT. So I said, you might as well sit down and watch it. And I'm like, why can't we get stuff like this on the main roster? And I still echo that now. And now I'm turned. The thing about NXT is you got to love NXT while you can. Because once they go to the main roster, it's over.
It's over. There's no guarantee that you're going to get to that spot. That's why I fear for Velveteen Dream. I fear for Aleister Black. I fear for Johnny Gargano.
205 Live.
Who?
205 Live.
Probably.
Too small.
Never really did nothing. Oh, Ricochet. He's going to 205 Live.
Here's the thing. The only gimmick, there's two people I have a glimmer of hope for on the main roster right now. Adam Cole and Aleister Black.
Aleister Black because of his gimmick.
Yes, and Adam Cole because I feel like he has the charisma, mic skills, and in-ring work. But
they're just they're gonna give him like a tag team title run.
No,
that's what they're gonna do.
I see IC title
for like a.
You know what? That's okay. I mean,
he's gonna answer. He's gonna answer an open challenge.
That would be good
because everyone's doing them. Yeah, that would be amazing. Imagine the pop when you hear "Shock the System." Like
just imagine Seth Rollins.
Just
think of it this way: Seth Rollins gets the IC title back, and then the night of SummerSlam, he says he had the open challenge. He had "Shock the System." Then we get Seth Rollins versus Adam Cole. You tell me you don't want to see that.
That would be really good.
And then he gets like rolled up and loses.
I mean, I wouldn't mind if he fought Seth Rollins and like I seen the match for like 20 minutes and he got rolled up. I take that. I mean, he stays looking strong. It's ways you can do the roll up that works. You just gotta know how, when, and who to do it.
Do it in 3 seconds, so it's record time.
That's when I would get angry.
Yep. It's like when they hyped up Kurt Hawkins' like debut for like 8 years, and then like he gets super kicked and loses.
That was funny though.
It was funny. It was a fun like build up.
Like
it was funny then.
400.
They're profiting. They're profiting. they're profiting him like off of him losing now. That's his gimmick. He loses. It's on his merch that no one buys. Except maybe Grim fans.
Never know.
Let me make it clear. I'm not dissing Grim fans. I used to watch them all the time.
I haven't watched Grim I think the last Grim video I watched was some takeover. Might have been like a year or two ago. It's been forever.
The last Grim the Grim video I've watched was like Kurt Hawkins super kicking him in a Walmart.
What the hell?
That stuff was good though.
That was funny.
I mean, I could just
imagine what Grim looked like recording that, just like holding the camera, just like up, bringing it down, turning it around. Unless he's like actually falling, like they're selling the super kick in the aisle with the camera in his hand, which I doubt.
I mean, I personally stopped watching Grimm because I just wasn't watching videos anymore. I still like Grimm. I think he's a great person. I just stopped watching his videos.
Yeah.
Remember that big controversy he had with him and Nia Jax?
Oh yeah.
Yep, I remember that.
It was a fat dude calling a big woman fat. And
Nia Jax, she thick, bro.
You should have just like shrugged it off because it was freaking Grimm who said it.
My whole thing is like, she could have handled it better. I mean, she could have DM'd Grimm and talked to him that way. She could have went to Kurt Hawkins and asked him because he knows Grimm personally. Like I remember Mark tweeted, that's uncalled for, and I told him, it is. But Grimm's actually a really nice guy. He jokes like that all the time. He didn't mean any harm, or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a little uncalled for. I mean, you gotta be, especially in today's society. I mean, you could say like hi and it could be considered offensive. No, I'm not even trying to be funny.
Excuse me. Some cultures don't use the word hi, so you should use a more universal term, Mark.
Like, that I've actually seen it happen. Like people went off.
People get offended by Merry Christmas because some people don't celebrate Christmas.
And it's not like we're trying to offend people. It's a regular thing, and I think, especially in today's society, it's like you kind of have to
be careful,
watch out what you say and how you say it, and who you say it to, because people get like really easily triggered. But yeah, I don't think he meant it.
It wasn't. And here's the thing: it wasn't even Nia that got it triggered. It was her. It was the fans. Like, here's my whole thing: is this? I get like. I guess because it was a vlog at the Royal Rumble was going to get more views, so that's how people saw it more. But Grimm has made jokes like that all the time. He calls Titus O'Neil Hepatitis O'Neil. He's called Neville Devil. He's made jokes like that all the time. He called Kevin Owens Kevin Blowens. He called Roman Reigns Roman Rape. He makes jokes like that all the time.
Seth Rollins.
Yeah. This is the one time where he gets people getting mad at him for it. Like, he's been doing this for years, and now people want to get mad. But I stayed out of it because I didn't want to put myself into it.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just a really different generation. I feel like if he said like maybe like 15 years ago, I think it wouldn't be as overblown as it was. But with social media, with everything that's going on, I just don't think at that time it would have been appropriate to say. Like, because it's a lot of ish going on. Like, it's just, for him to say that then just wasn't smart. But we all know Grimm's a good guy. It's just a bad place, bad time.
What's your opinion on Dana Brooke?
I think she's pretty poor. She's not good in the ring or good in the mic. That's my opinion on Dana.
She does a little flippy thing on the stage.
What was the last thing she did that was good that you remember?
When she left Charlotte.
No, I'm kidding. I'm joking.
She was right back, and she was right back with Charlotte right after that. What happened? No, she broke away from Charlotte. They did nothing with her, and Charlotte went to SmackDown.
Titus Worldwide.
Now she's the secretary for Titus Catering. So.
Oh yeah, and she's like barely like half and half. Like, you'll see her like dressed up for like Titus Worldwide, and then like in the Royal Rumble she'll be in like regular gear with her theme song. Like she has nothing to do with Titus Worldwide.
See, Dana was definitely someone, her and Apollo Crews, they were definitely brought up from NXT way too early. They were not ready to be on the main roster.
Apollo needs to just go down, bro. Because I feel like NXT, with me, my opinion, NXT is not even a developmental brand.
It's a third brand.
It's a third brand that WWE has. And what I would love to see, like fantasy booking, I would love to see NXT, in a sense, kind of
take over.
And this coming from my brain, kind of invade main roster and kind of do something.
Just say takeover.
Just say takeover. I just said it. Just say takeover. I just said it.
Okay, takeover. NXT takes over the main roster.
Yeah, so we can have Cole going, NXT's taking over, and then Corey Graves will be like, I love it.
If you guys vouch for it, I think that would be my first booking video. How I will book an NXT invasion.
Dude, with Conor Reeves and Dan Matha as the front forces.
Yep.
I'm just.
You think that's something that should work on how an NXT invasion could work?
Yeah, definitely.
That'd be great. Put me in that video.
But here's the thing, Mark. That's not something I can just come up on the fly. That's something I have to script and then sit down at a laptop and type in. I mean, I do have a way it can start off.
It's something that you should definitely work on. Like it's worth it.
I guess I give you a quick sneak on how it started. I guess I would start just a random match. Let's say it's a main event. Let's say Roman Reigns is facing Seth Rollins or something. Or better yet, how about this? Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins.
Hey, we're still on air. You still want to talk this on air?
No, I'll tell you this off air because
I
don't want to say this on air and have someone try to build off of that. I'll tell you guys how I would do when we go off.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Gabriel, the wrestling fan, and this is how I would book an NXT invasion before Kyron. Kyron didn't tell me how.
Yeah, and then we go back right to this video and we'll prove you wrong.
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I don't know if you guys want to talk about Monday or Tuesday. Is there anything you guys want to mention? It's been kind of a couple of weeks.
Honestly, if I'm being honest, I didn't really watch Raw nor SmackDown that much. I mean, because the NBA award show was Monday, and that was terrible as well.
Oh. You know what I wanted to talk about? Team Hell No.
That was a good moment, but like, remember everything that happened in the past? Like, like Kane trying to kill Daniel Bryan and the whole corporate Kane thing.
That's it.
I want to start the show. Are we gonna forget that Kane's tombstones what made Daniel pop his neck?
Yeah.
I just
don't forget about it. They hugged it out.
I want to see Dr. Shelby. That's it.
Now, if they do that, I would laugh my butt.
If they bring Dr. Shelby, that you're bringing back memories now. I'm getting nostalgia. And the crazy thing is, they said Sasha Banks and Bailey need to go to counseling.
Yeah, let's not do that, though.
Because
when Daniel Bryan and Kane teamed up, at least that was meant to be taken as a joke. If you do that same thing with Sasha and Bailey, when this series is meant to be taken seriously, then you're automatically going to hurt the feud.
I just want to see Dr. Shelby, man.
Yeah, bring him back for Kane. I mean, I remember when Kane and Daniel Bryan first day in therapy. When Kane went through his life story, it was just funny how casually Kane was talking. I grew up locked in the basement, suffering from psychological torment when my brother set my parents on fire. I then went through a lot of mental institutions to a point where I was grown, where I buried my brother alive twice. Since then, I've set numerous people on fire and abducted various coworkers. Oh yeah, and I once electrocuted a man's testicles. My real father, he said, my real father's a man named Paul Bear, who I recently trapped in a meat locker. Years ago, I had a girlfriend named Katie, but let's just say that didn't work out so well. I've been married, divorced, broke up my ex-wife's wedding, and tombstone a priest. And for reasons never quite explained, I have an unhealthy obsession with torturing Pete Rose. That was the funniest thing I'd ever seen Kane do or say.
And he was so fluent, like he did not mess up at all.
He's dedicated to the character in whatever direction his character goes in. Good old maybe Mayor Glenn Jacobs is good at playing the character of Kane.
Mayor Glenn.
Mayor Kane.
I mean, let's be honest. If you look at all the terrible gimmicks they put that man through, I'm glad Kane was a hit because he had to go through Isaac Yankem DDS.
And Fake Diesel.
And the Christmas Creature.
Yeah, Kane's debut, one of the best in WWE history.
Oh, without question. During one of the greatest matches in WWE history.
Like Unabomb.
I mean, don't forget, I'm just saying that cell match with Undertaker and Shawn is still, to me, the greatest. I know people say Undertaker and Mankind because, it's more, memorable. But if you look at it from a straight match perspective, I say Undertaker and Shawn cell match is better.
My favorite match was between Melina and Alicia Fox.
I knew you were about to say that. I knew you were about to say that.
Big facts. Best match.
This is my first time on Mark's podcast, and I'm already the most predictable member.
He said, "What? Of all the matches, Stone Cold's face. Oh man,
he kind of looked like
hilarious.
he was about to cry. Like he was so ashamed, like
See,
and pissed off at the same time.
I admit giving someone my favorite match is hard. Like my favorite actual one match I couldn't give you. My favorite WrestleMania match that's different. As a matter of fact, Mark, that's what we should have for next week. Our top 10 favorite WrestleMania matches and top 10 favorite WrestleManias.
Mania matches and manias.
Yes.
Top 10s.
Oh, I have to do this too. I've only watched like 7 of them.
Here's the thing with me.
I guess you're gonna have a lot of time on the WWE network.
$9.99 a month. New subscribers get it free for a month.
You want to know something, Gabe? Mark tried to screw me over because he knew they were gonna do a top 10 list episode a few weeks. Which was
I'm not trying to screw you over.
No, listen, no. So he said he texted me right before we were about to go live saying, "I hope you got your list ready." What list? We're doing the top 10 NXT matches, top 10 wrestlers, and top 10 world champions of all time. You didn't get that message? I said, no, Mark. So I had to give 3 lists like that off the top of the head.
And he did fine.
And I did good.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. All right, so WrestleMania 32 was really, really good, and so was WrestleMania 27.
Stop playing.
I'm joking.
No, I'm just glad you didn't say WrestleMania 9 or WrestleMania 11. I probably would have had to reach through the screen on that one.
Hey, WrestleMania 2000 was lit.
Well, I never really sat through it. Personally, for me, other than 2 matches, I never really cared for that show. I never watched it. I mean, I know what my top 10 favorite WrestleManias are.
All right.
Well, matches too. But
I just like the stage designs of WrestleMania. Like, even if the show could be really bad, but if the stage is good, then I'll go back and watch it.
That's why I missed even with the B-level pay-per-views. And remember Backlash when it used to have a stage? I mean, that's the one I always go to. Backlash with that, swing stuff. That was my favorite of the B-level pay-per-views and their stages.
With all the budget cuts they've been doing, they got rid of not promos. They got rid of pyros.
Yeah, no more promos.
Yeah. No more promos in wrestling.
I mean, I guess wrestling is dead now soon too.
It's just enforced. Promos are dead.
I don't know. Some
stereotype of
some fans might actually like more wrestling on the show.
The stereotype of wrestling just being dudes play fighting is now enforced because now it's no longer characters.
See, that said was the problem. Like when I hear people say, "Oh, I want to see Halloween Havoc come back," do you really want to see them bring? I do too. But do you really want to see them bring Halloween Havoc back and not have a giant pumpkin at the top of the stage?
It's just gonna be a graphic. It's gonna say Halloween Havoc with generic Halloween tombstones in the background.
LED board or
shutter stuff.
Yeah, I'd rather old school.
All right, so you're gonna cut all of the pyrotechnics from your budget. At least make one more separate pay-per-view stage. That's all I'm asking for. I don't need everyone to be unique, but just at least have one different special big LED board thing.
You know what I miss?
What do you miss?
It's just I missed the SmackDown with the fist.
That's what everyone says, but yeah.
I don't know if I miss it.
I get it.
Here's what I would do. Even if you're not going to bring back, customized stages for every pay-per-view, just do it for the big 4. Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series.
The only way you can tell that it's a different show at this point is the fact that they have different lighting. Because the stages are all the same.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't.
They're stopping at Vince McMahon's going to spend a shitload of money for his XFL.
Yeah,
true.
500 million.
Half of the money he's getting from SmackDown is going to a football league that no one's gonna watch.
This is to everything. If you fail again with the XFL, stick to wrestling, Vince. Don't do anything else.
He seems pretty legit though with this. I give it to him.
I mean, I want to succeed. I think in this area he can, but if he doesn't, then definitely don't even.
You know what I don't like about the stages now? Instead of having an actual Titantron where you can display put well put together entrance videos, it's just a really thin, long banner that isn't even combat. It's not like the thing is like even in like the game, like even in WWE 2K18, it's like the custom Titantron, like the custom entrance video you make doesn't even fit that thing because it's too like because it's like 16:9, and then like that banner is like the equivalent of 3 like Titantrons like shrunk down and put together in like a little curved TV.
Oh my gosh.
Entrance videos were fun, like they were good. And they added something to like the way they look, and now it's just a nameplate.
Kind of. At least one thing is they haven't changed yet. Thank goodness. They still make some pretty good video packages. That's one thing they still do very well. And like this has always been a pet peeve of mine ever since I got a network is that when you skip to the match, it doesn't
show the video package that they put together beforehand.
They get you to the entrance, not the promo. That's something that needs to change because there are sometimes I'll admit
they're better than the actual match. Sometimes
I'll watch the promo on YouTube. Hey, John Cena at WrestleMania 29, the promo is better than the match itself.
Absolutely.
Same thing with the Undertaker and Roman Reigns video package, which I think is really good.
Triple H and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 32, great video package, terrible match.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean,
I was just watching that video package too. Like,
I still bump my head to that song, "Hail to the King." It's still a cool song.
I have it on my phone, bro. Like that song is great.
I love Avenged Sevenfold.
I
love everything.
I think the best, but here's the thing: I think the 2 best video packages of all time, Austin Rock WrestleMania 17, Michael's Take of WrestleMania 26. Those are the 2 best video packages of all time. Is the
WrestleMania 17 one? Is that the one with the Limp Bizkit song?
Yeah,
My Way.
That one was awesome.
That's it's such a great video package, and like it's the only excusable reason to listen to Limp Bizkit.
I listen to Limp Bizkit. What are you talking about? The crazy thing is, you look at that video package, they don't really say much.
They don't.
And it's still good. You look at the video packages now, they're talking. You look at that single video package, literally all they did was like look at each other and throw punches. I mean, at the end, in the sit-down interviews, it's
storytelling through visuals, and through wrestling.
Yeah, and I feel like they need to go back to that to some degree, because some matches, some video packages, they do need to talk because it feels like the storyline still needs a little more. But for some storylines now, like they don't really have. They could pull a Rock Austin and not say much and it'd still be good.
Well, it needs a little bit, but they don't need to they don't need to have like an exposition heavy video package because chances are, if you're watching the pay-per-view, you know at least a little bit about the rivalries that the matches are.
But I think like NXT does that very well. I mean, let's look at TakeOver Chicago. The Champion Gargano video package, well, both for one in New Orleans and this very good. It was mainly, it was a lot of, flashback and, they did some talking. Look at Velveteen Dream and Ricochet.
That was good. I like that one. That's what I was just thinking about that one.
I laughed so hard at the part when he brought up him feeling tough enough. He was just like, Dream has a memory of that.
Yeah, Dream has a memory of that.
That was hilarious. The Dream has a memory of that.
It's so drastically different too. Like Patrick Clark and the Velveteen Dream, and
he's good at it, man. He's really good at it,
and he's good at playing the character. Like your suspension of disbelief is still there. Like when he's like there.
OTR Central made a great point, and I agree but disagree. How he said how he doesn't like how the gimmick because he don't like how they turn a lot of black wrestlers into like rappers or dancers or suspects. And usually I would agree, but Patrick Clark just does such a good job with the character. I can't help but like him. And I remember when I first saw Velveteen Dream was TakeOver War Games against Aleister Black, and I'm like, what kind of gimmick is this? Then the match happened. I'm like, okay, he can tell a story and he can work. Then I'm constantly watching, and I'm like, yeah, he's pretty good.
I loved it in the match where I just want to see something real quick, in that match where Aleister Black sat down and Dream was like, he was just so pissed, and then he mocked Aleister. I think that was the turning point of that match when he sat down with him and kind of was just like, you're looking at a mirror. I was like, oh, yeah, I remember watching that And I was like, yeah, this guy, he's gonna be a champion one day. I instantly said it. I was like, he is going to be NXT champion. I knew it for a fact. That was like so good.
When was the last time Velveteen Dream won a takeover match? Was it the one against Cassius Ohno that like?
Yep.
Was there even a rivalry there, or was it just there like as a card filler?
I think it was mainly a card filler. I mean, he managed to get some story out of it, but it was mainly a card filler.
Is it like just me, or like I feel like the crowd is dead like when Cassius Ohno comes out?
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, I mean, his last 2 takeover matches, he was in Enhancement Town. I mean, he basically helped get Lars Sullivan over at War Games, then helped get Velveteen Dream even more over in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he had one big takeover match.
He has a good theme song. Takeover Orlando. He got a little bit of a pop. He got like a small one though. Like when he was the.
Oh no.
Yeah, when he was the surprise tag team partner when they decided No Way Jose was not good enough.
No way.
Which is a good decision. He's Adam Rose. He's Caribbean Adam Rose.
Yep. Like I called it. I called it about him. Just saying. The best theme song in NXT for me is Gargano and Aleister Black. Those are the 2 best theme songs.
Yeah.
You know, I told Malik this, and Malik was like, "Yo, are you serious?" You know whose theme song I really like?
Who?
I mean, I surprisingly, and I have an odd satisfaction.
Blue Pants.
Blue Pants lit, but no.
Who?
Coming straight from the clearance rack. It's Blue Pants. I remember that. But the Iconics. I don't know why. The Iconics.
Wait, have they stuck to one theme now? Like, are they using Billy Kay's theme now?
Which theme are they using?
I think it's Billy Kay's.
I actually prefer Peyton Royce's theme in a way.
Yeah, I feel like that fits the more iconic duo thing. Like gimmick.
I don't know why Billy Kay's theme is just.
It's catchy though, and it gets you in the mood.
It is. I think that's why, bro.
I think
it's a catchy vibe to it.
I think the main roster. I think like themes on the main roster. You know, I love Sasha Banks, Nakamura, AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. Those are probably some of the Finn Balor, of course. Those are probably my favorite themes. Bobby Roode, even though he's not glorious when they turn the babyface. But yeah, those are probably my favorite main roster themes on the main show.
Pre-edited heel Shinsuke Nakamura thing was good.
Obvious. That was his heel theme was pretty good too, though.
But when they changed it and messed up that.
Yeah, when they replaced the violin with some like synth.
Yeah, I was like, "Are you serious, man?" Mm-hmm. Like you can't change the fact that we're still gonna sing his theme. You can't change the fact people are now.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. You can.
You know,
I like the concept of having, or not a concept, because it's like they're actually doing it. I like that Shinsuke Nakamura's like entrance video is just a music video to his theme song. It's kind of like how they worked in the music video to Rollin in like the American Badass Undertaker Titan Run. Like
Rollin wasn't even the best theme song he had.
It wasn't.
There in that gimmick. It was a song that was like, "You've got it now."
Yeah, it was the Jim Johnston
made
song.
A big mistake. Yeah, that was a song I remember the most.
Yeah, but like I like the I think I think the idea, like the way it's displayed, I think it just brings me back to when they had actual like entrance videos with like vignettes of like the wrestler doing cool things.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just like a nameplate with some like Shutterstock background.
Yep. Oh man. Let me hear the question I have for you guys. And this is not really theme related, but it has something to do with tomorrow night's episode of Raw. Who should turn heel, Sasha or Bayley? Because I don't count that Bayley turning heel. Who should turn heel?
Bayley.
I think Bayley, like, I don't know, even though like I feel like Sasha Banks does very well as heel.
Very well.
Like I know we haven't seen Bayley as a as a heel. Maybe she has something. But like she's been playing this babyface character all of her career. It got over in NXT. She hasn't they haven't been doing anything with it in the main roster. I think the wacky inflatable tube men are more over than she is. So maybe like seeing an aggressive side, a change in attire would be cool. Mark, what do you think of an attire change, Mark?
Change the damn song, first of all. You can't be a heel coming out to that. Same with this is the thing that pisses me off.
A Toys R Us theme ad song that Bailey comes out to.
Makes me sick right here. Like I hate it so much. The Riot Squad. What the fuck is up with their theme song?
Well, they're not good at.
Oi.
They're not very good anyway. Besides Ruby, they're not very good anyway.
What is it? Yo, they have
it for Paw.
The cheesiest theme song. And I'm not knocking on them. I'm knocking on whoever gave them that theme song. Like
CFOs.
They're supposed to be bullies. And you come on
that was Riot. That was Ruby Riot's like original theme song. It kind of worked with her because she's like like a punk gimmick, kind of like punk rock, like anarchy kind of like babyface gimmick. And then like now that they're like supposed to be aggressive heels, like just
it doesn't look right, bro.
And wreaking havoc in backstage by dropping a camera and slapping papers out of a dude's hand.
But Ruby's the only member of the White Riot Squad I even like.
Yeah.
I don't think Liv Morgan fits very well. She's like, if you think about it, to me, she's like the Harley Quinn of the Riot Squad. Like she's like
the new Harley Quinn or the good Harley Quinn.
What do you mean by new and good?
Yeah,
Suicide Squad. I didn't like Suicide Squad. I hold a grudge with that movie.
I would have to say Suicide Squad Harley Quinn.
Oh god, that's not a good thing. When I think of good Harley Quinn, I think of Arlene Sorkin and Tara Strong. Those are the good. That's what I think of when I think of good Harley Quinn.
I think of Lego Batman Harley Quinn. No, I'm just kidding. I like the cartoons. I like the Batman cartoons.
Batman animated series, greatest cartoon of all time. Don't at me. But back to what I was saying. What you say, Mark?
Which one?
The show that went from in the 90s, the animated series, the original animated series. But I was saying, I think Sasha should be the one to turn heel. And I know what you guys saying, it might help Bayley in the long run. Let's be honest. The legit boss character only works as a heel. Sasha is at her best as a heel. On the mic and in the ring. I mean, think of this way.
We've seen that before, though.
Here's the thing, Mark. It's like, I love Sasha and I love Bayley, but I can't help but think, remember, like, when I keep thinking about NXT, Sasha was such a good heel when they were chanting that she was ratchet. I mean, remember in that Iron Woman match, she made a little girl cry. That's how good of a heel Sasha was, and Bayley was a great babyface to counter it. But, so, I just want to see that again, because if I'm being honest, even though I'm not saying Sasha's a terrible person, the way Bayley is, on screen, that's kind of how she is on screen. She's a sweetheart in real life, like, just like with Becky. So why turn her heel when that's not how she is in real life? But with Sasha, she can play that evil woman. And I'm gonna say ratchet woman better than like that heel woman better than anybody. So why break that up? I mean, and I think it might just be awkward. I mean, Sasha does not speak well on the mic as a babyface. As a heel, she was killing it on the mic. That's what I think.
Why can't they both be heel? I mean, at this point, I don't even think face heels work with every rival.
When's the last time you got a heel versus heel rivalry?
Those are kind of like...
It's a different time, though. I mean, you think about it.
I mean, by default, Sanity versus Authors of Pain, they were both technically heel during that time.
I think, like, at that point, Sanity was, like, just chaotic, neutral. I'm using that term.
Because everybody likes
like
heels now. They like
how they were.
Good guys.
The only heel that gets booed for the right reasons is Tommaso Ciampa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I just feel like we're getting to the point though in wrestling where you don't really need face and heels. You just need two people who just legitimately know how to work with one another and hate each other. Mm-hmm. And in this case, storyline hate. Not like.
I mean, the old saying is you work best with your best friend. Gargano and Ciampa, Sasha and Bayley, Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Well, Shawn worked better with probably Undertaker. or Bret Hart, but those two hate each other. But the fact is, like, most people work best with their best friends. And like, look, Champion Gargano and like Bailey and Sasha, they work best because they're best friends. And so that's the thing. And I do get like, it is nowadays like black and white when it comes to babyface and heel. And Vince got that in the attitude era with Stone Cold, but he doesn't get it anymore. But then again,
Where did Steve go?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Mark, what are you eating? Oh,
What?
okay. Wait, are those the sweet pretzels? You can't listen, Mark. You're gonna have to get those. You can't have those around me because I love those pretzels.
Me too. I ate this whole bag.
That's the thing. You cannot stop. Once you start eating those pretzels, it's a wrap. I remember one time I bought a bag and ate most of the bag on one go. I didn't realize it.
Okay, I don't know. I don't know what fishy website I've been to recently on this laptop, but I just got a pop-up notification that says, "Men, try this tonight. You'll never need Viagra again."
Don't. Oh God.
I'm not going. I haven't even like been to any like sites like that. Like, I mean, at least on this computer.
We don't judge. Trust me, we don't judge. We don't judge.
Yeah.
My parents are really Catholic though, so. Well, I was thinking earlier, like I know, like we were talking about earlier, NXT being like pretty much a third brand, not being like developmental. Like it's barely developmental. I agree, but they're also bringing up people. They just aren't developing people, and they're bringing up people who still need development. Liv Morgan, Sarah Logan,
Apollo Crews,
Dana Brooke. Yeah,
not Tyler Crews.
And they're on like the main roster. They're on television too. They're on global television, and people that have been like developed, like in-ring veterans that are been. I mean, I just called Zack Ryder an in-ring veteran. I like him a lot, and I miss seeing him.
Yeah, now that's the definition. What they did to him was definition of being buried. Like people always get a term like if you lose a match, that's burial. No, what they did to Zack Ryder, that was burial.
He got a push off the stage in a wheelchair. He was like the butt of the joke throughout that entire like disgusting storyline. Why did they bring a championship into the Embrace the Hate storyline?
But here's my whole problem with that was this. WWE, it's like they always say, get yourself over. Oh, he did that. Sell merchandise. He did that. Make the fans love you. He did that. And yet, instead of, giving the title, mind you, I was there when he won the title, the U.S. title at TLC. Like, instead of running with it and making money off of it, they took his title, they took his girlfriend, they nearly made him paralyzed. And then that wheelchair spot, they didn't have any protective padding, anything. That was just an unnecessary, dangerous spot. And it's basically like, and Kurt Hawkins said it best. We always hear, oh, you got to grant a brass ring. But this, he did. And
they just snatched it from him immediately.
They just, it's like, my whole thing is, and then you have people like Sandow and Wade Barrett and Rusev. Why is it that when people get themselves over, like you say, you just bury them?
Rusev?
Rusev. I think because the thing is with Rusev, he's the most marketable out of all of the people that have gotten themselves over.
Wade Barrett could have been legitimately good. When he was doing Bad News Barrett, he could have been WWE champion. That's how good Bad News Barrett was. And Zack Ryder was not going to be a WWE champion, but
he could have had a really solid like mid card, run. Yeah, like for a while. He could have had a good title reign there. Instead, they decide to market him just for a little bit, just enough so they could get rid of him immediately. And even on his Wikipedia page, like for 2012 to like 2015, there's an entire section that's called lower tier status. Wow. That's how bad it's been. That's how bad it's been for Zack Ryder.
But it's basically like CM Punk said. You always say grab the brass ring, but when we do it, unless you want us to, you just take it away from us. I mean, that's
exactly what it is.
They tried their best to put down Daniel Bryan, but they knew if they did, WrestleMania 30 would have ended poorly, so they had no choice.
Right.
You guys, this is by far the longest podcast we've done, and it's the most productive too, because we talked about a lot of stuff. Like this was truly a ramble. I don't know about you
Yep.
guys, but
Oh yeah, the thing is like the only like example of like development that I see right now in NXT is Kona Reeves, and people hate him for some reason, like already because
What about
like
Lars Sullivan?
oh yeah, and Lars Sullivan too. Yeah, they actually developed him when he was like they changed his name like mid like thing. Like he was Dylan Miley, and then like went from Lars like when he remember that like when he was just beating up his tag team partner.
What
And he
up,
was just,
hold up. What about Andrade Cien Almas?
oh yeah, true. That's but it was like I feel like the development was like off screen because like they just kind of had him there for a little bit, and then as soon as they signed Zelina Vega, assigned him, they gave him like a good storyline, and he rose to the title scene pretty quickly, in my
And then
opinion. Which I'm
and
fine
then
with,
he
but-
and Gargano had the first 5-star match WWE's gotten in 2011.
right. That's true. I mean, like with him though, like he was already like really good in the ring, like in Lucha Libre. And like but like Kona Reeves, he's not like an indie name. I think I don't think he was in the indie scene. I think he was straight from the performance center.
I think NXT is becoming the indie hotspot.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be even more difficult for like the true recruits
Mm-hmm.
to try to get in the business and be successful, because NXT is now becoming like, okay, who's the next hottest indie scene wrestler that's a free agent? Okay, let's say for example, Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega, we're gonna go sign him. Or what about the guy at the performance center? Oh, we could wait. We could build him later. We got to get
But
Kenny Omega.
They
They're gonna
still,
take all the time on Kenny and completely forget about somebody else.
but here's the thing, Mark. They still do develop people from the performance center. Prime
They
example,
do.
Velveteen Dream.
Right.
And let's be honest, if they sign Kenny, he's going straight to the main roster. They ain't putting Kenny in NXT.
I was just giving an example.
Yeah.
But if you're Kenny, why would you want to go to WWE? I mean, you're in control of your own decisions. You're making good money, and if you go to WWE, it's just gonna ruin you. So who cares?
He even said himself, I don't want to be a robot, like referring to like signing with WWE.
Now,
Triple H wants to work with New Japan.
and that's the thing. I think they'd be willing to work for Triple H, but it's Vince and Kevin Dunn that they don't want to work for.
Why do we have a beaver in the production truck? Please get this rodent out.
I've already used those jokes, man. You're a little late to the party.
I'm gonna go again.
This man live his life.
I'm a shrink.
Like,
I mean,
it doesn't make sense to me, man. It's like, why? Why does the independent scene is getting really smart? They know what they're doing now.
All in.
They have no other. Vince McMahon has to be. Actually, I'm gonna rephrase it. Vince McMahon needs to listen now, because it's like you look at this back
The
then.
thing with Ring of Honor, like with Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, come on.
What is that? That's like, it's like that should be like illegal for a company to do.
That's truly insane.
Well,
now, what if he shut down All In? Do you know how pissed off everybody would be?
Here's the thing,
that would be so bad for the company. That's why he's not doing
but
that.
That's the thing, though. They're not below that. Let me tell you something. What they did one time. They one time, you know how back when they were going against WCW, this is for the Monday Night Wars, this is in the 80s, that they had a big pay-per-view that WCW was running. I don't remember what it was. And Vince ran Survivor Series to compete with it. And he told the pay-per-view providers, if you run a WCW show, you won't be getting WrestleMania. And guess what? They didn't run WCW because they weren't missing out on WrestleMania. So don't act like, it's not like Vince is above this, because he's done it before.
That's ridiculous, man.
That's gross. That's high key gross. Oh my god. That's like, that's conmanship.
But let's be honest. If we were obviously Ring of Honor is no threat to WWE. But if you were Vince, you would do the same thing.
New Japan, no. New Japan is different, man.
But they're not going to compete with WWE because
completely different market. Almost.
Exactly, completely different market. And let's be honest, is a casual fan, and I hate using that term, but that's who it is. They barely care about in-ring work.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I don't watch New Japan myself, but that's mainly because I just don't have the time. I just don't know where to find it, and I'm not subscribing to any networks for it. So what I do when I like New Japan is this. If I have a big match, I'll watch it. Like, for example, when Styles and Nakamura had the Wrestle Kingdom 10 match, all right, I knew they were both coming to WWE. And, I know who AJ Styles is, obviously, because of TNA. And I heard about this Shinsuke Nakamura person. I'm like, okay, who is this guy? I heard he had a great match with AJ Styles. I know how good AJ is. Well, let me see it. So I type it in, and treated my word, I liked it. Omega and Okada, I couldn't finish them because they were too long. That's just how I have a problem sitting through very long matches, especially like if it's a pay-per-view and it's live and I'm watching, that's different. But if I go back to watch a match, for example, Shawn and Undertaker WrestleMania 25, I love it. One of my favorite matches of all time. But it's over 30 minutes. It's hard to sit through a 30-minute match. And Omega and Okada have been going over a whole hour.
Right. I remember like watching that match. I got about 3 household chores done like in that time. I took out the trash, I did my laundry, and I cleaned the bathroom, like all while watching the match. It was that long. It was a good match though.
Yeah. Yep. I'm one of the people I don't think you should have a long match unless you need it. For example, Triple H and Roman Reigns, WrestleMania 32 was over 27 minutes, and it was boring, which is why I nearly fell asleep on it. Like, you gotta know your personnel. You can't have long matches. Like, there was no reason Roman and Lesnar had to go that long at WrestleMania 34. They didn't do anything. It was just F5s and suplexes the whole time. And I'm not lying. I'm watching it with my brother, and we're both nearly falling asleep on it. Like, he hit the fifth F5 in case. So I'm like, how is this match? I look at right at Kyrie. I said, how is this match still going on? Like, there's really nothing going. Like, don't do that. I'd rather have a 10-minute match where stuff gets done than have a 20-minute match where nothing gets done.
That's actually like, I've been thinking, I'd like to see like an explosive, like a quick explosive match, like straight out the gate where it's just straight up like the two guys trying to kill each other with all these crazy ass spots. I think that'd be cool.
And then WWE just screwed us over with Extreme Rules. They were gonna run a Fatal 5-Way no one contenders match, but now they're gonna change the Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley with 2 men we don't care about. Now I know they did the same thing last year, Extreme Rules. Yeah, they did, and I was there for it. Joe, Rollins, Bray, Roman, and Balor, but that was a great match. That was a great match. I'd rather take 5 men again, and this probably would have been like Roman, Bobby Lashley, Elias, I don't know who else. Finn Balor probably and one more other person. But that would have been good. You'd really expect a match between Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley in Pittsburgh to be a good match?
Wait, is that the main event of Extreme Rules?
You know it will be.
Oh, yeah, true. That's I don't know why they're doing this. I don't know why Vince is doing this to himself.
They do it for Roman.
I know they do it for Roman, but like at this point,
that's the only way they know.
They should know that Roman Reigns isn't as marketable as Vince wishes he was. At this point.
But this is the thing, though. They don't care unless it's... See, here's the thing.
Unless it's like detrimental.
WWE had Diesel hold the WWE title for nearly a whole year, despite how bad business was doing in '95. And so it's not like they learned from their mistakes. And say what you want about John Cena, he was always marketable. He always brought in the money. So say what you want about Cena.
Yeah, at the very least with John Cena, at least he has a catchy theme song with like fanfare and like flashy lights and an entrance. And then Roman Reigns, he just does a slow walk down the thing, down the ramp with like a really slow theme song that worked with the Shield, but then they like remixed it. They remixed it, and they just gave a little Spider-Man looking logo for not even like a good Spider-Man outfit, like remember the Amazing Spider-Man movies, like when Sony was just trying to hold the franchise. Mm-hmm. Like it looked like that logo,
but here's one thing.
Roman's vest.
As someone like, I don't hate Roman Reigns. I don't even dislike Roman Reigns. I just don't like WWE's agenda with him. What does Roman Reigns? What Roman Reigns doesn't have? Let's look at everyone else who's like the big face of the company: Hogan, Austin, Rock, Cena. What did they all have? They had personality and charisma and great mic skills. Roman does not have that.
Wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
What do you say? Wham bam, thank you, man. The Giant's teeth was down his throat. I'm like, really? I don't even need to bring up suffering succotash. We already know how bad that was. But I mean,
he was over. Like he was kind of over. Like when he was just like a mercenary-esque like guy who didn't talk. That's because he didn't talk.
Here's the thing, and my problem with Reigns is that they're trying to garner sympathy with him. That's not gonna work. You gotta make him into that mercenary. That's the only way that's gonna work.
Even when Rosie died and he still went out to perform, like after like his like the death of his brother, only like a couple weeks after. As soon as he walks out, as soon as his music starts playing, he's just bombarded with boos. There's like at this point, there is no way to garner any sympathy for Roman Reigns.
Mm-mm. And yeah, I mean, I do. I mean, I kind of feel sorry for him.
Yeah, and I think it's still messed up that like.
Because, like, I mean, especially, like, given the right opponent, Roman can have a pretty good match. Look at the Extreme Rules match with AJ Styles. That's the best Extreme Rules match I probably ever seen. And, I mean, and yeah, the ending made me upset, but it was still a good match. And a lot of people say, well, oh, look at the last 3 WrestleMania main events. Roman was in them, and they're all terrible. That's true, but how much of that is Roman's fault? Is it his fault that Triple H usually never, other than the match with Cena, all his one-on-one main events at WrestleMania were pretty poor? Is it his fault that Undertaker's age and injury slowed the match down? Is it his fault that Lesnar's laziness made the match worse? So I can't really blame those matches on Roman. I blame a lot. I blame the one on Lesnar with Lesnar's laziness and not really caring. I blame the Taker one because Taker's injuries and age just caught up to him. And the ones with Triple H, like I said, other than the match with Cena, you look at all of his one-on-one main events, none of them really were very good. One with Jericho, hurt by a poor crowd. One with Orton was hurt by a poor stipulation and dead crowd as well. And the one with Batista, just no one remembers anything but the ending. The only good one was the one with Cena, and ironically, that was helped by the crowd.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Even with like them super pushing Roman Reigns, I can't like hate him because like it's not his fault. Like if they like tried to package like Colin Delaney as the face of the company, like the fans would not receive to it at all. They'd hate it a lot. But like it's not really Colin Delaney's fault that he isn't doing like so great trying to carry this like multi-million-dollar company that's like marketed worldwide and has like many forms of media.
See, here's where I can say whether I think you're good or bad. It's when you get into the ring, how well you perform. In Roman, contrary to what a lot of people try to tell you, performed very well in the ring.
Even Finn Balor says so, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I say. Like, especially like given the right opponent. Roman's had plenty of matches throughout the last few years with the right opponent that have been very, very good. One-on-one matches alone, I just feel like let's say at WrestleMania, if he went again, let's say he turned heel and when he gets Seth Rollins in the main event, guarantee you that match be good.
Yeah. Unless Jon Stewart gets involved again.
That was just stupid on some levels.
Why Jon Stewart? Like of all people.
It's sad because like you look at that match when Cena and Rollins, it was really good. But that Stewart in a finish just ruined it. I mean, really, let's be honest. John Cena he's rivaling Bret Hart in terms of SummerSlam classics. I mean, Bret Hart had the match tonight at SummerSlam 1990, 1991, 92, 90, by default 93, but I wouldn't say it was a classic. 94 was a classic. His match in 97 was great with Undertaker. That's 5. Cena had great matches with Punk in 2011. Daniel Bryan in 2013. Rollins in 2015 and AJ in 2016. So Cena's up there with Bret Hart in terms of SummerSlam greats.
Yeah. That's all I could say, yeah, because you pretty much just summed up everything.
I meing, Baron Corbin, the thing with Baron Corbin kind of ruined it. I mean, I personally said that.
It was like the opening match of SummerSlam there. That was funny.
And like I said that in my review. Like, can you believe it? John Cena, of all people, was an afterthought at SummerSlam after delivering some of the best matches over the last few years. I stand by the fact what they should have done was, and you could say, oh, you got a definitive title at SummerSlam. I would have had Cena face Nakamura at SummerSlam and just gave him all the night off.
Jinder Mahal versus Shinsuke Nakamura. That's a funny match.
Tell me about. I mean,
like, no, I haven't even watched the match.
you don't want
Like,
to. You don't want to.
oh, I watched like the last 10 seconds of it where it was just a coloss, like one freaking
Let's just leave it at this.
Cobra clutch slam.
This you can Mark can vouch for me. After Nakamura lost to Mahal the second time, I was so angry. I went on a huge Twitter rant.
I didn't go to Twitter rant, but I was so upset. I was like, all right, he's winning at Hell in a Cell. I gotta get prepared to chant Shinsuke Nakamura's theme song in my room.
No, see, this is not.
Then they had the exact same match.
Yeah, but like, when he had the exact same match he had with Orton 3 straight times, but Mark didn't want to listen to me.
Yeah, the same spot with like attacking the Singh brothers and then distraction, Colossus.
And that's what I kept trying to. That's why I kept trying to tell Mark, but he didn't want to listen.
And then with like the Great Khali, that was so predictable because Punjabi prison first of all, and then they're just like, you're locked in here alone with me only. No one can interfere because we're in a bunch of cages. No one can interfere.
They you know what? I will give WWE credit for this. Battleground, and this is something that they had to have done on purpose. Battleground was shaping to be one of the worst pay-per-views they've done in so long. They topped it off perfectly by having the worst wrestler of all time come back. You don't get much better than that. So they knew what they were doing. Like, oh wow, this show is terrible. Let's bring.
When he was freaking holding up the WWE Championship for Jinder, he was like, "I'm on that."
I'm being serious. If they had brought Khali back full time, I might have stopped watching SmackDown altogether. Mark, give me 3 good things about the Great Khali.
He's tall, he's Indian, and he's marketable. There we go. I did it for
Great Khali.
I'm being serious.
The musician Khalid, his Twitter handle is at the Great Khalid. That's a good thing.
I'm talking about in terms of wrestling. I'm not talking about anything with Twitter. I'm talking about wrestling.
Yeah, I know. I'm joking.
Exactly.
He botched a match type.
Plus
tall legend who got kissed by Beth Phoenix.
That's the only.
You know who else got? You know who else got kissed by Beth Phoenix? Edge.
Edge is married to her.
Yeah.
They have a daughter together.
Yeah, and then Santino maybe. Wait, they had a thing. Did they ever like?
It was on screen. They did. It was. Yeah, they did. It was pretty funny. Back when Santino was funny. Heel Santino was hilarious. Maybe he tried doing a Melina split and fell.
That was how Melina could do that, man. Like it hurts, man.
Well, I don't want to talk, but we know about Melina's character backstage. That's all I'm gonna say.
Without further ado, I don't know where the hell Steve is at, but
it might be time to sign off for the night.
Who?
Us.
Where did he come from?
Out of nowhere.
It's almost 12:30. It might be time for us to go off for the night.
Canada Day is over.
All right, boy Gabe, tell them where you could find. They could find you, bro. Tell them a new YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, I got a YouTube channel. It's called Gabriel the Wrestling Fan. Yeah. I ain't got nothing there. I should. I'm just too lazy to post. I got a Twitter.
Are you really talking to me? Where you from?
Yeah. Where'd he go? Who stopped talking?
I have a Twitter. It's at Rusev Day all year. It's just a Groundhog's Day joke. That's my entire Twitter. I just post something about Rusev Day every day. I don't think I posted today though. So or yesterday. So I'm gonna post right now. I'm gonna say something about how yesterday's Rusev Day was a time of fasting and abstinence and serenity because I didn't post yesterday. Reflecting.
Kyle, tell them where they can find you.
You know, you follow me on Twitter /RoKyron, Instagram /_Kyron, Tumblr DeviantArt Kyron Chase, YouTube account Kyron Chase. I do videos on wrestling. I do videos on Sonic the Hedgehog. I do videos on My Little Pony Friendship Magic.
Last
Steve
Rusev Day.
coming out of nowhere like an RKO. Tell them where they can find you, bro.
You can find me on Twitter at WB_podcast or personal Twitter handle at Army_strong_06. Find me on YouTube, Sports Talk Network, youtube.com/user/complete08, where I pretty much talk all type of sports. Also, I have my secondary channel, Animated Awesomeness, talking Star Versus and MLP. So, everybody, welcome to follow me on Twitter. Also, I am on Instagram and Snapchat now at CBK_06.
Please add that man on Snap. He's like. I was looking at snaps recently. He's like, what do they say? He's like, those like reporters, you know, when they like break the news out and they're like, oh, you know, so. He kind of reminds me of that, but that's just my personal opinion. Cool dude, very cool dude. All three of these guys are cool as hell.
Except for me.
I included you, buddy.
Oh yeah. No. I'm saying you be the third person, not me. I don't think. I don't think my friggin' Twitter is. Oh shoot. This is my Twitter. It's friggin' Rusev Day. Look, these past 4 tweets they're virtually the same. It's like
Oh, what's that Twitter? I don't know. Tweet at Rusev. Maybe you'll get a reply.
I have 9 followers. I don't think that's gonna happen.
I know. I'm just saying.
I'll try sometime.
You'd be surprised who retweets and responds to you, despite how many subscribers you have.
My friend Kieran, like, he just made a joke. He didn't expect this tweet to like blow up or anything. He made a joke about like he put like Old Bay on a Pop-Tart, took a picture of it, and was like, "Hey, Pop-Tarts, I think I did something," and they replied, and that tweet has like over 100,000 retweets. It's so cool.
Oh, just so you know,
and you got DM'd by Old Bay too.
That's sick. Fit literally.
They're sending him Old Bay merch in the mail just because of a tweet.
Wow.
That is tough. That is sick. Should I do that? Like, hey, Old Bay. Oh, hey, pretzels, red gold. I mean, road gold. Yeah.
Honey wheat, baby. Sweet.
Blue snowball microphones.
My Blue Yeti. Hold up. Yeah. He tweeted out at Pop-Tarts US, I think I just did something. And they replied with, I'm not sure why people need to take the time out of their busy JK lives to ruin a Pop-Tart and try to get some attention, but congratulations, this is the most famous you'll ever be.
Ooh. Yeah. Let's sign off so we can continue this conversation.
Okay, so we went from Curtis Axel to Chris Benoit to Fabulous Moolah to Bill Cosby to NXT to Pop-Tarts.
Voila.
Peace out, everybody. Peace out.
See ya whenever. Next
See you,
Sunday.
bye.
Adios.
Bye.
Peace.